Channel 12 Sports presents coverage of high school football. Tonight, a great matchup between two of the top 10 teams in Class 6A, the Champlin Park Rebels and the Totino Grace Eagles. Hello and welcome to Jim Totino Field in Fridley. John Jacobson along with Allie Alt and Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, Champlin Park having a very good season. They won 4 straight games after a season opening loss, all close games, but they're winning these games, and they're right in this one tonight against Totino Grace.
Well, how fun to have 2 of the top 10 teams in the state. I'm really excited. Champlin Park, really known as a basketball school, but having a great year this year in football. And besides that opening season loss, it wasn't against a slouch, John. It was against Minnetonka. It was a close loss at that, too. Both teams have played tough against Blaine, beat a really good Blaine Bengals team, and Osseo. So both teams very competitive. I expect an awesome game tonight.
Grace ranked #1 in Class 6A, and for a very small school relatively enrollment-wise compared to some of these other schools, they're getting it done. They got some very talented players, and their coaching staff, though, making sure their kids don't get too big ahead about being #1 right now.
Well, anytime you talk to Coach Jeff Ferguson or Mike Grant at Eden Prairie, any of these great coaches, they'll tell you the same thing. We're okay. We're not that great this year. Well, you keep saying that. Everyone knows how great they are. They're fundamentally sound. They play great defense. They run the football. They don't beat themselves, which a lot of these teams in high school, you find 5, 6 turnovers. They do not beat themselves. They have excellent talent. They're senior-led, but they got great coaching. They're going to be in every game, and they just wear you down. And so it's just kind of another year, but the same story with Totino Grace.
Let's look at our key players tonight. First of all, starting with Champlin Park. Cameron Witt coming off a big game, senior wide receiver. Rebels like to throw the ball, and Witt's a big target for Benedetto.
Well, in 5 games, he's got 28 catches and 5 touchdowns. And last week, in a close win against Blaine, he had 12 catches. He caught a winning 2-point conversion with under a minute to go. He's just a big-time athlete. Makes plays. Champlin Park throws the ball as well as any team in the high school, in the metro area. And it's different because they're going to throw the ball. They rely on that. Some speed option along with that. Where Totino Grace is more old school. We're going to pound you and pound you and pound you. But Cameron Witt's really exciting. He's got to have another 8 to 12 catch game with a couple of touchdowns for them to have a chance to win tonight.
For Totino Grace, veteran backfield, all of their offensive backfield returning from a year ago, including Ivan Burlak, who's having a terrific season for the Eagles.
Well, I thought it was a misprint, John. I looked at the stats here prepping for this game. He averages over 7 yards a carry, which is unheard of. That's almost a first down every time he touches the ball. It's not like he doesn't get a lot of carries. He's averaging a lot of carries. He actually leads them in receiving yards as well. So he's a dual threat running back. He's dangerous out of the backfield. You have to know where he is at all time. Number 5, you have to have an awareness on him. Can't let him get going. You stop him, you have a chance of stopping Totino's offense.
Right, I don't know the weather's going to be a factor tonight, but certainly our first real fall night. It's a very crisp evening tonight here at Totino.
You know what? Well, Mike Grant was my coach, and his head coach is Bud Grant. I'm taking the jacket off. No more of this wimpy Minnesota stuff. This is beautiful football weather. It's still in the 40s. Let's go. No hats, no gloves. It's a little windy. So what? This is Minnesota high school football. Forget the Metrodome. Forget playing inside. We like the elements out here, John.
And with that, we're going to go to break. We'll have kickoff in a moment. Totino Grace, Champlin Park High School football coming up next on 12 Sports.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. 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 They sa one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
We're back at Jim Totino Field in Frivoley, 4-1 Champlin Park, getting set to kick off against 5-0 Totino Grace, #1 team in Class 6A. Allie Art will be on the sideline for us tonight. Let's go down to her now.
Hey, thanks, guys. You know, Champlin Park has a young quarterback in Bennett Otto, and, oh, excuse me. And his quarterback coach is actually not going to be here tonight. Just last Saturday, Coach Mike Ross was at Bethel University watching his son playing starting center at his football game when an accident happened in the bleachers. Now, he had a serious leg injury from that, so serious that he had to have surgery this morning. Now, he's home, resting comfortably, recovering, and watching this game. But Coach Corton says that tonight should be interesting because Coach Ross is really the motivator of this team's offense. Now, for the Rebels, they're lucky enough to have Coach Corton as their previous quarterbacks coach, so expect to see a lot of connection between him and Otto here tonight, guys.
Thanks very much, Allie, and we wish Coach Mike Ross a speedy recovery as well, as we understand watching comfortably at home tonight. So he's out of the cold. He doesn't have to worry about that. He can, no stress.
You think he did that on purpose because he knew the weather was getting cold? No, that's in all seriousness. I read about that. That's no joke, and obviously wish him a speedy recovery. But just to, you know, when you're a passing team, John, you rely on rhythm and kind of consistency. So having that quarterback coach who's always in your ear, who you're talking to on the sideline, that could be a big change. So we'll see how the sophomore quarterback, Bennett Otto, how he responds to that. But he, like Allie alluded to, Mike Corton, a very good quarterback coach himself. So I don't think it'll be too big of a factor.
Peyton Yu, junior, #19, to kick off for Champlin Park, and we are underway. It's Gifor Flomo on the kickoff return, right off the sidelines, got an opening. He's out to midfield. Flomo into Rebel territory. He is going to take this one 95 yards for an opening touchdown to start the game.
Touchdown. Wow. I'll tell you what, number one, you can see the great athleticism and just the speed of Flomo. What I love is watch how he gets right into full stride. He doesn't slow, he hits it hard. You got the kicker to make miss, and you can see a great, fantastic move, and he is gone. And I'll tell you, when you play a team like Totino Grace, you can't give them any special team points like that, especially to start the game. Momentum all on the Eagles sideline.
Jack Vettel Jr. to try the extra point. Out of the hold of Kyle Halverson. Kick is up, and it is through, and 14 seconds into the game, a 94-yard kickoff return by Flomo, and it's 7-0 Grace.
Well, you watch, I mean, great run, but look at the wedge there for Totino. Just opened up a huge hole for him. And again, for players, you watch kickoffs, it always bothers me when they catch it and they kind of start slow into their moves. That time, Flomo just got it, and he was in full speed within about 5 strides, and he just never looked back. And you can see they're fired up, and that's a huge, awesome way to start the game. You know, when you're playing teams like Totino, you know, and you can see their last meeting 24-10 last year, well, a pretty close game. And now it's up, it puts a lot of pressure on your offense if you're Champlin Park. You got a young quarterback on the road playing the #1 team in the state, down early 7-0. Now Champlin Park has to respond. We see this a lot with top tier teams. You get up early and then it just seems like it downfalls into a mistake, a turnover, and before you know it, it's 14-0, 21-0. So this is a big test for this Champlin Park offense. How are they going to respond on the road here against the #1 team?
Flomo's first kick return for a touchdown this year. Ivan Burlack, who we talked about in the pregame, also has one for the Eagles. Flomo, the second leading rusher behind Burlack, certainly an offensive weapon for this Eagles team, and he gets Totino out to a 7-0 lead. And now Vettel, the kickoff for Totino Grace. His kick will be handled at the 6-yard line of Champlin Park. On the return, it's Hill out across the 25. Marcus Hill down at the 26-yard line, and that's where Champlin Park will start on its opening drive.
Well, Marcus Hill, he's no slouch either. He's electric when he gets the ball in his hands. You know, great receiver. How about this, John? He's got 8 catches on the air, 5 of them for touchdowns. So he gets the ball. Magic usually happens too. How fun would that have been to see him back-to-back kickoff returns to start, but just wasn't able to get into the open space like Flomo was.
There's a look at Bennett Otto. Completion percentage near 65%, 10 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. 801
yards. He's one of the Metro leaders. He's a great, great young talent. And that's a big deal. You're playing against kids that are a year older, 2 years older. It's a heck of a daunting challenge.
Warlow on the first the first run of the game, and he's dropped for a loss. Luke Kubish, sophomore nose guard, on the stop. To look at the starting offense for Champlin Park. Hill and With have combined for 10 receiving touchdowns. Ernest Warlow, we saw their leading rusher, 513 yards rushing on the season, but lost 3 yards on that opening play. Otto to throw for the first time, and Warlow unable to hang on to it. Trying to throw it out of the backfield. It'll be 3rd down and 14. Look at the starters for Totino Grace, a team that's usually pretty solid on defense, and they've got some good ones. Charlie Waters and Joe Russell, both returning starters and outstanding talents, and a lot of good players on that D.
Well, they do, and they really control the middle, the interior linemen. Their nose guard, their tackles do a great job of eating up blockers so their linebackers can make a lot of plays.
With throwing on 3rd and long and threw high near midfield, trying to hit Hill. Incomplete, so a 3 and out for Champlin Park on its opening possession.
You can see a pretty good pressure, a nice chance taking a shot downfield. It looked like that time Marcus Hill just mistimed his jump. I think that's a ball he could probably get up and make a play on, but sometimes it's hard that you're getting your rhythm, getting your feet, mistimed it, and that's exactly what you don't want to do offensively. After giving up the opening kickoff for a touchdown is go 3 and out.
Otto is also the team's punter, standing back inside his 10.
Well, and that's dangerous when you have the quarterback as the punter, because you always got to keep in mind of the potential of a fake punt.
Gets the kick away, and an immediate tackle at the 46-yard line laid out by Amani Spencer.
Look at the timing on this, too, and a textbook tackle. He got low, hit him with a shoulder pad. Dangerous play. I thought maybe Russell would get a fair catch call. He didn't. He maybe thought he had a couple more extra feet of space there, but a beautiful special teams tackle. Maybe that gets their defense fired up here going against a very methodical Totino Grace offense.
Look at Kyle Halverson, who's a returning starter from a year ago, thrown for over 500 yards this year, 5 touchdowns, also 5 interceptions. 1st down and 10 for the Eagles from their 45. 1st down run. Ivan Burlack across midfield into Grace territory, and he's got 7 yards on the opening carry of the game. Look at the starting offense for Totino Grace. Offensive line play has been pretty good for Jeff Ferguson, he said, but some ups and downs that you often get with line play, and that veteran backfield, all those guys back from a year ago. The Grace team that lost in the last seconds against Osseo in the state semifinals.
I'll tell you what, anytime you have a running back that averages over 7 yards a carry, no matter how great they are, you have a good offensive line.
2nd down and 2, and it's a 1st down run for Flomo as he gets inside the 40, and he'll pick up 8 yards. So a couple of 8-yard runs to start this drive for Totino Grace. The starting lineup for Champlin Park on defense. Certainly given up some points the last couple of weeks to both Blaine and Osseo. Came up with wins, of course, in both of those games, but would like to tighten things up a little bit against the Eagles tonight.
Yeah, and you don't want to put your offense in that spot, too. They're in a position always coming back. I think to match up with Totino's physicality, you got to load the box, make Totino beat you through the air.
Halverson wanting to throw, can't find anyone. Now it's going to tuck it and run left side, 35-yard line, and he'll step out of bounds at the 33 of Champlin Park. So Halverson, patient, didn't throw into any traffic, and picks up close to 7 yards in this run.
he just looks like a veteran, doesn't he, out there? You can watch his drop back. Look at this, no panic, feels the rush. And that's a play Lumumba White, number 34. When you're the defensive end over there, you got to have contain. Rather than a 7-8 yard loss, it ends up being a 7-8 yard gain. Just a big time play by a senior quarterback.
So on 2nd down and short, Hansen lines up as a deep back here, and he'll get the carry. Big hole open on the right side for Sam Hansen. He's inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. And a pickup of 14 yards. So 4 different players already have carried the ball in 4 plays for Grace.
Yeah, and again, you can see a great run, nice cutback, good vision, but John, there's no one putting a hand on him until he's 6 yards downfield. You know, and that's as a running back, you love that when you can get to that next level of defense and you don't have any contact. Like I said, I think Champlin's got to load the box. They got to try to take away the run of Totino Grace.
1st down and 10 from the 18. Right side, it's Brady Bertram with the carry all the way to the end zone, and he's in. Bertram, the starting fullback, 6 foot 205 pounds, and he goes 18 yards, carrying some defenders along the way, and late in the run, score.
Well, it's just a trap up the middle, and Totino always has that trap available. Nice cutback. Look at that stiff arm by Bertram. The last 6-7 yards there, just an excellent stiff arm. And that's, again, you got to tackle low, you got to gang tackle. These running backs are very, very good. They got a nice combination, John, of speed, vision, but also some power to them. And again, Brady Bertram, you know, he's 6 foot 205 pounds. There's a line drive extra point that's no good. But there was a chance to be tackled there. Excellent stiff arm. And here it is, that quick trap. He had success. Again, big hole for him to run through. And you can see Bertram getting all the way into the end zone. And look at that stiff arm, the last 5 yards. As he carried number 4 for Champlin the last 5 yards. Big time play. Totino off to a quick start.
As a look at Jeff Ferguson, head coach, Totino Grace. 15th season as head coach of the Eagles.
Yeah, he's one of the best. He really is. He just does a nice job. He's built a heck of a program.
Mike Corton, veteran on the Champlin Park sideline, was a head assistant coach rather to Tim Herman for a number of years, and been the head coach now for 13 years at Champlin Park.
Well, and he's done a nice job. They got a bunch of great athletes at Champlin, and he's got a really nice offensive system and got some depth this year and just a bunch of playmakers, and they're going to need him more than ever here in this quick deficit to Totino Grace. They're going to need that passing game to get a spark, to get a big play. Sometimes that's all you need, John. One big play to kind of think, okay, we do belong here. We can play with this team.
And Vettel already his 2nd kickoff here in the opening quarter. So he dropped, picked back up at the 17-yard line, and Russell immediately in on the tackle for Totino Grace. Deontay Bronson on the return.
Yep. You know, and you drop that ball, you lose your speed, you don't get any head of steam going, and excellent special team coverage by the Eagles. And again, that Champlin Park offense kind of starting in a hole here, and they need to get little plays, get a little quick throw, get their sophomore quarterback, get his confidence going, get their receivers a chance to make plays in space.
1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. 3 receivers to the right. It's Ernest Warlow on the tackle, and he gets maybe a yard to the 19-yard line. Charlie Waters on the tackle. Senior linebacker drops Warlow for a gain of 1.
And interesting formations. This is what's the tough part for Totino is you don't play a lot of teams that have 4 wide receivers where you're going trips there on one side with another receiver on the backside, and it's a different type of matchup for them, and a lot of it just comes down to preparation and seeing it in practice, making sure your scout team does a good job of showing them that.
On 2nd down and 9, Warlow dropping the football, and it looks like Totino Grace has recovered. They have. A turnover on a fumble. Ryan Cush, senior, recovers for Totino Grace, and they have it deep in Champlin Park territory.
Well, and they ran the read option to the weak side right there, and it looked like they had some play there, some room to make a play, and pitch looked like it was a good pitch, right on target, and that time it just looked like if you take your eyes off, when you have that defender coming up, how many times do you see a receiver look up just at the last second anytime you run that option, John, first thing and foremost, you got to catch the ball, secure it. And instead, it's a turnover and a chance for Totino here to go up 3 scores early in the first quarter.
We have barely played 3 minutes. 1st and 10, Totino Grace at the 14 of Champlin Park. Inside give, it's to Flomo, and he is fighting tough for yards inside the 10. Ball comes out, it's stripped away. Bronson has it for Champlin Park, and he's got it out past the 20. He took it right away from Flomo. And it's Champlin Park football. How about that?
Well, you love Flomo fighting for the extra yards. He's saying he was down. And it's hard to kind of tell when that ball came out there, but either way, it's going to be ruled a fumble, and what a big stand by that defense for the Rebels, getting their offense another chance here.
So Bronson making the big play on D, and Champlin Park gets it right back. They'll have it at their 15-yard line with a fresh set of downs. Otto, quick swing pass. Oh, Warlow just having trouble hanging on to the football. Dropped a couple passes, a fumble. Let's look at that play again on the fumble on the run by Flomo.
See him fighting, does not go down. Let's see when that ball comes out.
And then replay, that might have been reversed.
Down, yeah.
Backside might have been down, but.
Well, heads up play by the defense. You got a guy fighting for yards. You got to try to take that ball, rip that ball out.
Otto's throw to the sideline, missed and incomplete, and it's quickly 3rd and 10 now for the Rebels offense.
Well, either way, that gives your defense some confidence. Hey, we can make a play. And right now, offensively, they're just not finding that rhythm. That's always the tough part in high school football. When you have a high-octane offense, a high-passing offense, is finding that rhythm. It's cold, it's windy. You know, you're playing a very good defense that's smart. And how do you get that rhythm? How can you execute, get first downs?
3rd down, deep throw going for Hill, and he comes up with a catch. Had 2 defenders around him, and Marcus Hill pulls it in at midfield. Gain of 35 yards, and Champlin Park's first down of the game.
You not only that, but you move field position too. And I love Otto giving his playmaker a chance to make that play. Excellent job by Hill, Marcus Hill. Watch him just elevate, keeps his eye on the ball between 2 defenders. That's just a great play, great catch, and I love the thought. Throw it downfield, try to make a play, and they do. Big time response for this offense.
Warlow, 1st down run, breaks through 1 tackle, but that's it. He's finished off at midfield. It'll be no gain. Nolan Nielsen on the tackle for Totino. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Champlin Park.
Great defense. You string that ball out. You don't want to. You set that edge, force them to keep going outside. And you got to have good defensive backs that come up to make the play. And Nolan Nielsen is about as sure of a tackler as you're going to find. He's got good size too. He's 6'1", 180 pounds. Comes up and finishes it off.
On 2nd and long, Otto flushed out right. Now fires, makes the completion. It's Witt on the catch. Inside the 40, down to the 39. That'll be a 1st down for Champlin Park.
Remember I told you Kyle Halverson for Totino looked like he has been there for a while, experience. How about the sophomore Otto? Buying time, keeping his head downfield. A lot of quarterbacks start running, they look to run. They don't keep their eyes up downfield. He bought about 4 or 5 extra seconds, kept his eyes downfield, finds his favorite target in Cameron Witt, and just a beautiful play, big 1st down.
1st and 10 from just outside the 38-yard line. Warlow gets wrapped up almost immediately. Hunter Christensen on the tackle.
Big number 78 does a nice job. He beat his blocker. He throws him right away like a rag doll. And they're sure tacklers. They get their hands on you. They're usually going to hold on to you and bring you down.
Second and 10. It's under 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. Totino Grace up by 2 scores. Witt rolled out left, throwing, and makes the completion at the 30. Russell driving back the receiver Witt, but not after he made the grab and picked up 8 yards.
Well, what can you say? That's a tough throw. Look at him rolling to his left. He gets a lot of velocity on it. Witt does a nice job. That's great concentration, knowing you're about to get teed off on. Joe Russell, great coverage, great tackle. That's just great offense sometimes beats great defense. So that's a, can you imagine? I mean, your quarterback, your sophomore on the road, rolling to the left, thrown across his body. Vikings fans are thinking Brett Favre against the New Orleans Saints, but he just delivers a strike.
3rd and 2. Delayed handoff to Warlow, breaking a tackle, leaning forward. He's going to be very close to a first down. He may have it. Tackle on the play by Jared Florell and Sean Prisbilla.
But I love that play design. It made it look like it was a rollout to the right, the draw kind of coming back to the left. And that's how you finish a runoff, leaning forward. That's going to be a first down. So the Champlin offense starting to gain some rhythm here, starting to move the ball a little bit.
3rd first down of this drive, 1st and 10 from the 27. Otto fires left side, completion down to the 20-yard line. It's Witt again on the reception. This one will pick up 7 yards.
I'll tell you, it helps a young quarterback, John, and that ball was behind Witt and high. And when you got great hands, if you can help your quarterback out make those kind of catches, and your quarterback just starts to get that confidence, and he trusts you. If I get the ball anywhere near you, I think you're going to catch it. And Cameron Witt to have 12 catches last week. He's off to a pretty good start here already this game.
3 catches for 26 yards for Witt on this drive. Warlow will get the carry on 2nd down, spinning forward, and he'll get to the 16-yard line, closer to the 15, and he'll have another Champlin Park first down.
Well, you can see Warlow, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's an excellent running back. He's averaging 8 yards per carry. And watch him fight. Look at this cutback right there. That's just excellent patience. And look at him keeping those legs moving forward. Still going there right at the end, and it's enough for another first down for the Rebels.
1st and 10 from the 15. Otto, some pressure on him this time, fires off to the right and incomplete. He felt the heat coming up the middle. Intended receiver Trey Carlson, but Otto just happy to get that one away and not take a sack.
Yeah, one thing I was interested tonight is how would Totino pressure the young quarterback, right? If they bring some blitzes, and you can see they're coming with linebackers. That was a stunt. Number 15, Charlie Waters, the inside linebacker, he came right up through the A-gap there and got a nice hit on Otto. But can this offensive line give their young quarterback a chance to make plays, a chance to get the ball to his playmakers?
2nd down and 10. Bennett Otto fires left, gets the completion to Hill. Down to the 7-yard line.
Otto's pass complete to Hill.
That's just a quick slant out of the shotgun, and you get a guy like Hill like that. Watch him. Look at him use his body to shield off that defender. Excellent coverage. That's just really hard to defend, and you got a guy like Marcus Hill. You're almost boxing out, and just a perfectly thrown ball. Big gain there to set up a 3rd and manageable.
Eric Moyna on the tackle. 3rd down and 3 for Champlin Park. This drive started back at their 15-yard line after the strip fumble by Deontay Bronson.
Motioning out, so it's an empty backfield.
And Otto will take it, and he tried to lean toward the 5-yard line, wrapped up by Waters.
Tackled by Waters.
This will be very close, and it will be 4th down.
See Champlin subbing in their big unit, their power unit. I like that play call, John. They motion into an empty backfield, and you get a lot of motioning on defense, and Otto just keeps it right up the middle.
3 backs behind Otto, and we get a whistle. Oh, an offside on Totino Grace, and now it will be a first down. It will be first down and goal for Champlin Park inside the Totino Grace 3-yard line. He'll keep that big backfield in. Otto will hand off. Warlow churning toward the end zone. Will be dropped shy of the goal line. It'll be second and goal from the 1.
Well, and this is where you got to be careful with Cameron Witt, number 88. He's lined up as a tight end. This is where you have play action and him releasing out. So this is where you become really tough to defend. If you got a good running game, Champlin's been able to run the ball. As a defense, you got to stay disciplined. Watch the ball fake. Watch Cameron Witt, number 88, on the right of your screen here, releasing out for play action.
Give to Warlow again. Second effort. Looks like he got in. Signal gets touchdown, Champlin Park. And the Rebels, in an impressive 85-yard drive, put 6 on the board.
Well, think about this. Let's rewind right to the beginning of this drive. Right before that, they fumble, right? They're down 13-0 with Totino having the ball at the 20-yard line. All of a sudden, their defense gets a big takeaway. Champlin's 3rd and long, and they get that long first down pass to Marcus Hill and really got their rhythm and their confidence going. That's how you respond on the road against the #1 team.
Joey Faulds for the extra point, gets it through, and with 3:19 to play here in the first quarter, it's 13-7.
You can see that big offensive line starting with their center, the left side of the offensive line, getting just enough push to get them into the end zone. And that's what I really like. I love Champlin, who's a great passing team. They get down in the red zone, and they kind of changed their identity, right? They brought some bigger kids in, and they became a smash mouth football. And when you're in the red zone, sometimes that spreading the ball out and that throwing offense, it's hard to score. And they had enough, being able to adapt to a different style there. And I think that put Totino in a bad spot. And what a big time answer for the Rebels.
We are already in week 6, Ryan, of high school football season. One last Friday of the regular season next week, and then MEA week, the Wednesday game, and then the playoffs after that.
Yeah, it's flown by, hasn't it, John? But you can tell when you start to have to wear a jacket and a hat and some gloves that you're kind of getting to that point towards the end of the year. But this kind of weather. I always like playing in this kind of weather. Then when it was 75 and you're really hot. This feels like football. The fans got to have blankets. It just makes you feel. It smells like football.
He was short kick this time. They'll keep it away from Flomo wisely, and Russell on the return, and he brings it out to the 37-yard line. So still pretty good field position by Totino Grace, but they didn't score a touchdown on that kickoff.
Hey, so it's a win for Champlin. And you know what? Smart. Coaching, a lot of it is game planning, but a lot of it is adjustments during the game, John. And hey, why would you kick it to Flomo again after he just went untouched for 80-something yards for a touchdown? So you'll give up, maybe sacrifice 10, 15 yards of field position to take the potential of a touchdown return out.
And Champlin Park jumping offside here, committing their first penalty.
And this is where Totino gets dangerous. They are a running team that you put them in 1st and 5 or 2nd and really short. That's when they will do the little play action. That's when they could take a shot down the field. So as a defensive back right now, you're thinking that 1st and 5, watch anything, trickery, any reverses, any double passes, anything like that.
Nick Kaharski, the receiver, out to the right, but they will go on the ground and give it to Flomo. Carries out to the 45-yard line. Short game, and remember it was 1st and 5, so it's still 2nd down and a very short 3 yards to go. Line of scrimmage, the Eagles' 45-yard line. Inside of 3 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Opening touchdown on the kickoff to start the game by Flomo. Bertram touchdown run, and then Champlin Park countering on that last drive. And here's Bertram across midfield. He's got a Totino Grace first down on a gain of 7.
Yeah, and a nice job Totino getting that push there on the right side of their offensive line. And I thought Champlin did a nice job. They set the edge right there. That's where they got to have pursuit. They got to have that D line coming down to the left side. They're ready to tackle that cutback. But it's a quick toss, and you can see those running backs get ahead of steam going. Even if you hit them, they're moving forward, going to gain a couple of yards.
That was Burlack on the carry. It's his 2nd carry. He's got a first down. 1st and 10. Eagles from the 48 of Champlin Park. High formation behind Halverson. It's Flomo. Nice hole up the middle to the 40-yard line. He's driven back with a gain of 8 yards. Flomo's 4th carry.
Man, watch the push here. Look at that hole, John. Just an excellent hole. He's not getting hit until he's in that second level. And you can see Champlin thinks, hey, we're going to go back to the well here a second time. Let's strip that ball. And Flomo says, no way, guys. I learned my lesson. 2 hands on that ball.
Kofi Amusa helping to bring him down for Champlin Park. So again, 2nd down and 2 for Totino Grace. Ball at the Champlin Park 40. Burlack will give it on the handoff to Flomo, following a blocker, breaking free inside the 25 to the 24. Colton Ait finally bringing him down, but Ait's tackle comes 15 yards downfield.
Look at that. There's 5 white jerseys around Flomo, so the play didn't really work. It wasn't an element of surprise on that reverse. Flomo just keeps those legs going. Running backs, that's the key. It's not in your upper body. It's all in your lower body. You got to keep those legs and that feet moving, and no one does it better than Flomo. I'd like to know what his yards after contact are, right? Because he does very rarely will he get tackled by the first guy and get tackled and brought down.
Burlack gets the call here on 1st down, and Ait breaks through and makes the tackle in the backfield. Back-to-back tackles for the senior linebacker, and this one for a loss.
Oh, and you see him, he just shot the gap there. Nice low tackle, a sure tackler. They need him to have a monster game tonight. And that's what you do. That first guy that gets contact, we always used to have a rule. If you can't make the tackle, you hold on to him and don't let him get out of your hands. Teammates got to be hustling to the ball, gang tackling, but that's how you do a sure tackle right around the ankles.
On 2nd down, Halverson felt a rush, able to release it. Bertram on the catch, and he brings it down to the 10-yard line of Champlin Park.
Well, that's what I mean. They're so hard to defend. They fake up the middle. They've ran every play almost so far tonight. And linebackers come up. Even though you got pressure, it's a short little pass out in the flats. And Bertram's a very sure-handed fullback. Does a nice job of catching. He's got 12 catches on the air, so he leads them as far as number of catches. And very effective, too, in a big guard. And they got 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. Well, 2 people were moving that time. You can see both of the wingbacks. Number 3 went in motion, Sam Hansen.
Timeout.
Oh, they got a timeout. Wow.
The Eagles will take their first timeout here with the final seconds of the first quarter. Here's a look at the Class 6A rankings for this week. Totino Grace at number 1, Lakeville North. Carroll Team, Eden Prairie hanging in there at number 3. Rosemont, Eastridge, and Champlin Park. Burnsville, Minnetonka, Cretin-Derham Hall, and Blaine. Rounding out the top 10, Maple Grove also a team ranked. They're playing at Minnetonka tonight.
It should be an excellent game too, but I'll tell you what, you look at both of these teams and you think, Totino's probably got the edge, but Totino beat Blaine 21-14, and Champlin Park beat him 34-30. So you look at Osseo too, both kind of, Totino had a little bit easier time with Osseo, but those are 2 good programs, historically good programs, and obviously Totino beating Eden Prairie that first week, and Champlin Park losing the tough game on the road at Minnetonka, who's had a heck of a season up to this point too. So very formidable matchup here for Totino Grace.
1st and goal, ball right at the 10-yard line. The ball is fumbled and recovered by Champlin Park.
Wow, what a stand by the Rebels defense. And it didn't look like there was any contact whatsoever that caused that. It looked like just poor execution on the handoff.
Kofi Almusa comes up with a loose ball. Flomo never had it. 41 is Almusa, and he gets the recovery at the 15-yard line.
Well, you love the effort. You see 3 white jerseys on the floor, on the ground, diving for that ball. And a big stop, and really Champlin creating their 2nd turnover of the night. Uncharacteristic of the Eagles, but what a big stand. You bend, but you don't break.
And Warlow wrapped up in the backfield. He's dropped for a loss in what will be the final play of the first quarter. Lost back to the 12-yard line. That was an entertaining first 12 minutes of play, Ryan Iverson.
Well, 20 points in the quarter, absolutely. And I think this is going to be a shootout tonight. It should be a lot of fun.
13-7, Totino Grace leading Champlin Park. We'll take a break, come back with more. You're watching our high school football on 12 Sports.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
John Jacobson with Ryan Iverson and Allie Arlt. Jim Totino Field and Fridley. We have played one quarter. Totino Grace with a 13-7 lead. And I'm sure the Eagles offense feels, hey, we could be up more. 2 red zone fumbles.
Yeah. And uncharacteristic, right? I mean, Flomo's about as sure-handed and as experienced as you get. That last one, it just didn't look like he ever got a good hold on it. And that's where, you know, not to make any excuses, but sometimes your hands are cold, and that's where you kind of got to, you know, just adjust to it. But, yeah, Champlin, you know, give Champlin Park credit, too. The first one, they ripped out of his hands. The second one, alert enough to get on the ground and recover it. So, nice job by that defense, giving their offense the ball here with a chance potentially to take the lead.
Meninato throwing, but too high, well over the hill, head of Marcus Hill. And it'll be 3rd down and 13.
We like to say that was over the hill, right? No, but you know, nice rhythm for Otto, and he's got to get it back here. He had a nice job going. I like the shotguns. I think he excels, too, at getting out of the pocket a little bit. You could see him when he's rolling out either direction, whether it's left or right. He gets a little bit more confident. His eyes are downfield. And this is a big one here.
Rollout's got pressure from the backside, stepping, throwing, wide open is Witt to the 40, midfield, down the sideline to the 40, 30, and out of bounds at the 25-yard line of Totino Grace. Cameron Witt was wide open.
I'll tell you what, Judd, I was watching that unfold. Didn't it look like Otto was going to get hit from the weak side? He got rid of it right as that pressure was coming. The weird part was he rolled to his left. So you got to think defensively, you're looking that way. Watch how wide open Witt is. There's no one within 10 yards of him. And they know he's his primary receiver. 12 catches last week, 28 coming into the game, and wide open for a huge gain and a big 3rd down and long conversion.
65-yard gain down to the Totino Grace 23. Warlow on 1st down. No, it's going to be Otto keeping it. Breaks out of a tackle to the 20 and wrestled down at the 18-yard line. Need to work hard to get those 5 yards, but does pick up a gain on the play before he's tackled by Mark O'Donnell.
I'll tell you what, too, as an offense, when you see a sophomore quarterback like that, trying to make moves, making plays, trying to get extra yards, that fires you up. And you can see Witt on that time came in. He knows if he would have been able to get in front of that last block there might have been a path for a touchdown. But either way, a nice 4 or 5 yard pickup on 1st down.
Under pressure, Otto steps up and hit, and it's intercepted. It's Charlie Waters with it. Warlow's going to catch him from behind down at the 30-yard line. But Waters with the interception for Totino Grace.
Well, we saw that from where we're sitting, John, up here, up top in the bleachers. We saw that developing. That's a play that Bennett Otto, as he gets older, will realize he's just got to take the sack here, trying to make too much. And a nice job by Waters reading that flat. If you're going to throw that, you either got to get some velocity on it or throw it away. And that time the ball hung in the air. Nice job by Waters picking it up. But how about the hustle, too, to prevent a touchdown on that play?
Ernest Warlow with the tackle from behind. Make the Grace offense work for it, but they will have a short field. It'll be 1st down and 10. Eagles at the Rebels' 30-yard line.
Well, that's Totino's 6th interception on the year, so they They might have turned it over twice tonight, but they know how to get turnovers as well.
And the first down and run, it's Ivan Burlack. Down to the 15-yard line, still on his feet. Down to the 13. Pickup of 17 yards before Amusa finally brought him down.
There's a flag on the play there. It looks like it's probably going to be against. No, it's going to be against Champlin. Personal foul. How about, I mean, have you ever seen running backs? Watch where the contact occurs here. And Bertram, watch him keep these legs going right there at the 21-yard line. Look at him keep going. He drives an extra 9, 10 yards after that contact. You can see there's a late hit against Flomo. I think it was number 4. I believe that was Bronson, Deontay Bronson.
And Jeff Ferguson working with his defense on the sideline. First down and goal after the personal foul. Ball at the 7-yard line of Champlin Park. Alverson will give to Burlack. Trying to fight for yardage up the middle and none to be found.
Well, Tony Guzman and Knight, again, those two linebackers do a nice job of filling that A and B hole. That's just a straight I formation, power right up the middle. And a nice job holding up here defensively. But what a turn of events, right, John? I mean, looked like Champlin after that big play to Witt was going to potentially score and take the lead. There's a big interception, and just like that, Totino's got the ball, 2nd and goal.
Still at the 7-yard line. Brock Bertram breaking tackles, fighting inside the 5-yard line. Tough 4-yard run for him to the 3-yard line of Champlin Park.
There's just trap right up the middle, getting contact at the line of scrimmage. And just watch those running backs. They keep those feet moving. They fight for every extra yard they can possibly get. Nice job by Champlin there, keeping him out of the end zone.
Brady Bertram, 2 carries, 22 yards and a touchdown. 3rd down and goal from closer to the 4-yard line of Champlin Park. Roll out, Halverson looking to the end zone. Now going to try to get there on the run. He won't make it. Knocked out of bounds by Eit. It'll be 4th down and goal. The ball will be at the 2-yard line at Champlin Park.
Well, nice job by Champlin that time, staying disciplined, not going for it. How about Eit? Great hustle from that middle linebacker. That's tough to do because you're stuffing the run originally. It's play action. Then you got to recover. And Halverson's got some wheels, too. He got to the outside pretty fast. That was a great defensive play. And they're 4th down. They're going for it, John. 4th
and goal from the 2. Give us to Flomo. Touchdown to Totino Grace.
What I love about that, no hesitation. Stay out there. We have just the play for it. You give it to Gay for a Flomo, and he knows how to finish it off about as well as anyone. That's his 4th touchdown of the year. Watch him fly through the air. Nice tackle. I'll tell you what, that middle linebacker for Champlin, he's been all over the field tonight.
Well, the extra point was missed on the 2nd Totino Grace touchdown, so they'll go for 2 here to try to get to 21. Halverson stumbles a little bit coming out and now throws at the last second and intercepted, and that ends the play. Hammering back. There's also a flag down here in the end zone. So we'll see if Totino Gray might get another shot at this.
I was going to say holding on the defense.
So a defensive holding will make it a 2-point conversion try from 1.5 yards out.
You might think that's not a big deal, but when you're running the football, 1.5 yards is so much more manageable than 3 yards. Because you got trap, you got that counter, you got your sweep, you got power I again right up there. You got so many different options. It makes it that much harder for the defense to prepare against.
Now Halverson back to the huddle.
And goal for the Eagles from there, from the 1-yard line.
With Flomo and Burlock back behind Halverson. It'll be Flomo to get the carry and into the end zone for the conversion.
Well, that's what great teams do, right, John? You get a turnover and points off of a turnover. The big interception, and there's just a quick dive right up the middle. Again, only a yard and a half to go, and Flomo can finish with the best of them, and he powers through. Look at that lead blocking. Great job by Brady Bertrand, the fullback, who's a great runner in himself, but I love the unselfishness. He powers through, and no contact until Flomo was 2 yards into the end zone.
And then for Flomo, a nice way for him to finish the drive. A couple of fumbles already in the game. And then comes back with the touchdown and the 2-point conversion run.
Well, and you love that. I always know, too, when I played, if you made a mistake and it cost your team, you had two different kinds of guys, John. You had one guy that would get scared and didn't want the ball. You had another kind that said, give me the ball back so I can make up for it. And Flomo's one of those kind of kids. And it comes from that kind of a family where they're just playmakers. And they want the ball. And, hey, I made a mistake, but give it back to me. I'll prove you wrong. I'll make up for it. And certainly did that on that drive.
The Grace bouncing back, now a 21-7 lead. Still a lot of time to go here in the first half.
Well, keep in mind, too, you got some pretty good athletes waiting for this kickoff. Marcus Hill and also Bronson, very good athletes, very good speed. Let's see if they get a chance to maybe make a play on a kickoff return. Try to steal a little bit of that momentum back, set up their offense in a good position.
Vettle's kick will go deep. It'll be handled by Marcus Hill back at the 8. The 20-yard line are wrapped up pretty well there, and they'll go down at the 23-yard line. So that's where Champlin Park will try to bounce back after a turnover on the last possession. In the red zone of Totino Grace, they gave it up, and Waters with that long return to set up the Flomo touchdown.
You know,
Champlin Park, though, feels that they can move the football.
Yep,
They've shown that. They had the
absolutely.
long touchdown drive. They had the long pass on that last drive to Witt.
And sometimes, John, experience at quarterback, they don't understand that sometimes taking a sack is the right play, right? Or you throw it away. You live to see another play rather than always trying to make a play. You love the spirit of the young Otto, but that last throw, I know he wishes he could have back.
Ernest Wollo on the carry, out past the 25 to the 28-yard line. And a good first down run of 6 yards.
Yep. You know, I honestly, coming into this game, I didn't think that Champlin Park would be able to run the football at all. And so far, I think they've done a pretty nice job. A couple of plays with negative yards, but for the most part, getting 5, 6, 7 yards on some of their runs. And I think that just enough where it's opened up a little bit more of that passing game.
On second down, it'll be Warlow. Tripped forward to the 30-yard line. Maybe a good yard, closer to 2 yards shy of the first down for the Rebels here. His 12th carry here the first half.
You know, and he comes in averaging just about 11 and a half carries a game, so certainly getting more of a workload. And I like that idea. You take some of that pressure off your young quarterback.
Third down, quick throw to the right, completion, first down, 35-yard line, and out past the 40 goes Witt. And a pickup of 11 yards on his 5th catch of the night.
How do you not love watching Witt catch the ball? A quick throw, easy throw for a quarterback. Watch this quick feet, makes a guy miss. He doesn't strike you as someone who's overly speedy, right, or shifty, but man, is he tough, and he is shifty, and he's got good speed, great hands. We've seen him make a number of nice catches tonight. Really nice weapon to have.
From the 41, Otto faking, now he'll run, and he'll carry forward about 3 yards to the 44-yard line.
Well, the last play was a quick hitch. Here they try to get a hitch and go. You can see a little shoulder fake. Smart job by the quarterback, not throwing it up for grabs. He's got to be careful with that ball out in the open like that when he's running.
Walter Christensen and Joe Pintz on the tackle. Second down. And 6 to go. Otto with a rush, steps out of trouble, throws, gets the completion. It's Carlson on the catch, and he's down to the 45 of Totino Grace for a first down.
Well, big time play by Bennett Otto right there. Had pressure around him. Watch him step up into the pocket. But look at his eyes, always downfield. That's a tough play for any quarterback to make, much less a sophomore. He was stepping up, had the vision to look to his left, finds a guy wide open, and Trey Carlson with a big first down catch. Nice job by the young quarterback.
First catch tonight for Carlson on 1st and 10. They go to Witt right side. Gets away briefly from Russell, but Waters there to finish him off. It is a completion, but a gain of just 2.
I'll tell you what, big time play by Joe Russell, number 8. He got kind of tripped up, wasn't able to get a good clean tackle, but you see him grab a fistful of jersey, just enough to slow Witt down for his teammate to finish him off.
2nd and 8 from the Eagles 43.
But again, Champlin able to move the ball, get it into a nice rhythm, easy throws for their quarterback to make. Nice drive so far.
Otto throws and incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. Intended for Witt.
Otto already 17 pass attempts, 9 completions for the sophomore.
You can see he's got some nice velocity on his arm. Not a big kid, 6'3", only 155, 156 pounds. And one of the few times tonight where he hasn't been accurate. That ball just a little bit underthrown, and as great a hands as Cameron Witt has, unable to hold on to that one.
Third and 8, Otto zipping a pass and incomplete, trying to get it to Witt. Couldn't hang on. Russell and Waters on the coverage. It'll be 4th down and 8.
Well, interesting decision here for Coach Corton. You're on short side of the field. You're down 2 scores, 5.5 minutes left in the game, or in the half, excuse me. And look at that, nice throw. And you see Champlin keeping their offense on the field, maybe recognizing the importance of sustaining this drive.
4th and 8 from the 43 of Grace. Otto stepping up and down he goes back at midfield.
Joey Linders that came up from the linebacker, inside linebacker, good pursuit. Finally just pursued right at the quarterback, able to get Otto down. And see, that's one where Otto's got to throw that one. On 4th down, you got nothing to lose, even if you throw it downfield and you give up an interception, so what? That time, instead of taking the sack, got to give one of your playmakers a chance to make a play downfield.
Grace takes over just on the other side of the 50. And a first down. One big hole for Burlock. He's into the open. To the 30, to the 20, and out of bounds to the 15-yard line. Marcus Hill on the tackle, but not before Ivan Burlock had picked up 34 yards.
Do we know what we're talking about, John, or what? We highlighted him in the pregame, and he said, great job, Channel 12. I'm going to live up to the expectation. Big game. Again, great job by that offensive line. There's holes that are huge. We could drive a truck through those holes, but I'll tell you what, Ivan Burlock, he's got the speed and the power and the legs to keep it going. Big time answer by Totino. And that's a good example, John, of an offense building on defense, right? Momentum, helping each other out. Big stop on 4th down. You get a big play right off the bat.
First down give, it's Bertram. And Bertram gets himself 6 yards, close to 7 on the first down run. Backs are so good. Flomo, Burlack, and Bertram, all seniors. We talked about that in the pregame and how much experience that all of them have. And starters a year ago, Halverson, the quarterback, and that's huge.
Well, and the tough part is you got to account for them all, right? They always have dive up the middle. They always have that counter play coming back with Flomo, Burlack going on the power sweep, Bertram up the middle. So you got just so many weapons and so many players you got to account for.
Flomo on the carry on 2nd down. He tripped over the legs of one of his own linemen, gets forward just a couple of yards to the 8. It'll be 3rd down and still close to 4 yards to go.
So I was wondering, something like that, John, does that offensive lineman get credit for the tackle?
Maybe. Maybe in film study they call him out, right?
I'm sure they do. That was the worst. You know, you'd have film the next day or the day after game, and you knew you had a play or two that you wish you could have back, just waiting to get called out in front of everybody. And not a fun time.
On 3rd down and 4, and they'll be sure a first down on the carry by Burlack. He got down to the 6, but they needed to get to the 5. So 4th down and 1 for the Eagles there. Rebels defense trying to make a stop here. They got a 4th down touchdown run, you'll remember, by Flomo on their last drive, and now a 4th down and 1 from the 6-yard line.
This is where, if you're Champlin, be careful of a hard count, right? Don't give them a first down.
Halverson will give to Flomo. I don't think he got it. I don't think he ever got to the 5.
Wow, what a push.
Champlin Park gets the stop on defense.
Yeah, just a nice job. I think that's number 44. Tony Guzman, the linebacker, he just comes in. Watch him take about 3 blockers out. You can see number 34 getting in there. Lumumba White, too. Just a nice job. Great push on that play. And one of the few times where Flomo isn't able to get forward progress. He just ran into a white wall of jerseys right there. And look at that push going backwards. Big stop by the Rebels defense. Tell you, being down 2 scores is so much different than being down by 3. 2, you feel like we're not that far off. When you get down 3, 4 scores, you feel like this one's over. So a big stop by the Rebels, and still plenty of time here in the first half to march down the field and maybe get a score.
3:17 remaining for Coach Corton's Rebels offense. Otto standing back out of the 1. He'll hand off to Warlow on first down, and maybe got a yard or so. It'll be 2nd down. And still 9, close to 10 yards to go for Warlow.
See, what I'd like them to do is, I think Totino's expecting that run on first down. I'd like them to change it up. Get a quick throw, get 6 or 7 yards through the air. Put your quarterback in a 2nd and short or 3rd and short instead of running. Always you put a lot of pressure on your young quarterback in these 2nd, 3rd and long.
Otto will throw over the middle, completion out to the 15-yard line. Bring up 3rd and short. Witt on the carry, or on the catch rather, and a gain of 9 yards.
Look at the accuracy there. That's great defense. That ball is just perfectly thrown. I'll tell you, you love to see that kind of accuracy, especially with a sophomore. He's completing almost 65% of his passes coming into the game, and you can see why. That one, great coverage, and that just put right on the money.
3rd and 1 for the Rebels.
3rd down and 1. Rollout by Otto. Now will throw and gets the completion out to the 20-yard line, and it's a first down. First catch tonight for Christian Schmidt, senior wide receiver. And a pick up of 5.
Doesn't he do a nice job, John? He's running out of the pocket with his eyes down the field. I thought for sure he was going to try to tuck that and run it and get the first down. All the while just buying time, allowing his receivers that extra 2nd or 2 to break open. And eyes downfield, delivers a bullet on the run on a 3rd down conversion. Nice play. Great job by Otto.
1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Throw, Warlow out of the backfield. First down, 30-yard line to the 35. Knocked out of bounds by Russell there. But a first down. Clock stops with the play out of bounds and a gain of 15 yards.
You know, the other thing you look for is poise in the quarterback. That time you can see the pressure coming from the outside. He steps up, and the whole time looking downfield, knows his running back. He knows where his safety, where his outlet's going to be, and he delivers it right in stride for Warlow, who turns it upfield. Warlow's got some burners.
Witt again stepping away from the pressure. Across the line of scrimmage this time he will run, and he'll run out of bounds near midfield.
You know, and some of that you can't coach. You can't teach a guy. How many times you see a quarterback not just oblivious to the pressure coming, he gets strip sacked or gets hit from the blind side. That time, again, Otto just kind of feeling that pressure coming around him. He steps up, slides right, sidesteps between two Totino pass rushers, and then has the speed, you can see, to get to the outside and picks up the first down and gets out of bounds as well.
Gain of 10. Champlin Park still with all his timeouts remaining. Now the ball at their 47. Started back at their 6. Otto throwing and incomplete. Felt some pressure through, couldn't get it to Schmidt.
Yeah, Ryan Cush came up the middle on a blitz that time, and I'll tell you, that's how I think Totino can really alter this game, is if they can figure out a way to pressure the young quarterback. So he's got to step up, make some quicker throws. You can see when he's got pressure, he's a different quarterback than when he's able to break the pocket and have the time to get his receiver. His receivers are good enough where they're going to get open eventually. You got to find a way to pressure Otto, try to force him into quick throws.
2nd and 10. Otto throwing left downfield and incomplete, trying to get it to Hill. Coverage downfield by Nielsen. It will be 3rd down and 10 for the Rebels.
You know, Marcus Hill's got to make that catch. He does a great job of adjusting back to it. That ball, I mean, by the time you can see number 21, Nolan Nielsen, he outran the ball. And that's a play Hill's got to come back. He does a nice job adjusting to it, but you got to catch that ball, help your young quarterback out. That would have been a big completion.
1:37 to go on 3rd and 10 now for Champlin Park. Otto, this time he's sacked. He got rid of the ball at the last second. I think they're going to say he's down, yes. Sacked by Joe Pence, senior defensive end. And a loss of 10.
Oh, nice pressure that time by Pence getting there. And again, when it's 3rd and 10, the defense knows you're going to throw the ball. They can pin their ears back and get after you. It's a hard situation for any quarterback to be in. Got to give him time, but that's where that first down catch becomes a huge play there by Marcus Hill.
Totino Grace will take the timeout to try to save themselves some clock on the other side of this expected punt. Here's a look at the records within the North District of the West Metro District, North section of the West Metro District, I should say. Totino Grace and Champlin Park both unbeaten. Anoka a game back and then playing at 2-2, 3-2 overall, followed by Osseo, Andover, Centennial, and Coon Rapids.
That's a tough district, isn't it? I mean, you got Osseo, the defending state champs. Anoka, power team from the 90s, really starting to kind of get some good players and some smash mouth football. And of course you got these two teams that have been beating up on everybody as well. So it's top to bottom. That might be one of the deepest conferences or whatever you call it, districts. I'm not sure what the correct term is, but that's a lot of good football teams.
Otto with the punt, a high kick. His second punt of the day, and will be stopped at the 30-yard line of Totino Grace. So that's where the Eagles will have it. They have one timeout remaining. And you can see the time remaining here in the first half.
Well, you got 1:18. If you're defense, you're watching for any type of reverses and screens or double passes or double moves. Don't let anything get behind you. And if you're Totino, watch just some simple play, a sweep or a counter, and see if you get a big play. If you get 15 yards, you know, you kind of go into hurry-up offense and try to get at least into field goal range, if not a touchdown.
And again, the double handoff. It comes in. It's Burlack trying to find some room, and he's dropped out. He took the handoff from Flomo and dropped for a loss. Colton Knight has been very active in this first half. Comes up and finishes him off.
Yeah, nice job staying home there by everyone really on Champlin. And you can see those inside linebackers, especially just running laterally very, very well. He's had a great night as far as tackling.
Totino Grace in no hurry. They're up 2 scores here, and now to 40 seconds to play. They'll give it to Flomo. If they can break a long one, fine, but at the same point, they're not going to take any chances downfield to pass or anything. It doesn't look like, which I think is the right play.
Yeah, I do too. But I think they're good enough where they can score on a basic sweep or a play like that. So you run a play that you don't want to have any turnovers, obviously. And again, you're up 21-7, but it doesn't feel like, it feels like Champlin's played with them, right? They've been able to move the ball, a couple of turnovers, a couple of third downs they're unable to convert, but they've certainly played with them and been effective on offense.
Now on third down, as I say that, and a throw downfield, the ball incomplete. Wide open was Nathan Kavalak, unable to come up with it. He was well behind the defensive backfield.
How does that happen defensively? How do you let a guy run right down the middle of the field and a perfectly thrown ball? You know, we were just talking about film the next day. That will not be a play that Nathan will want to be a part of, but just an excellently thrown ball. Last play of the half, that could have been 6, John. It really could have.
Kavalak unable to come up with it, and that's how the half ends. And we are at 21-7 as we go to halftime. We had the kickoff return for a touchdown by Gayflor Flomo with turnovers on both sides of the ball, with defensive stand by Champlin Park. Their last series before this one, when Totino Grace was down inside the 10. And we stand at a 21-7 score here at halftime.
Well, full of some big plays, right? Again, you started out with the kickoff return. We ended with an almost touchdown pass, a beautifully thrown ball.
Now let's go down to the sideline now, and Allie Arlt.
Hey, thanks, guys. Coach, if not for your defense, this score would probably be a big different story. What do you have to say about their performance in the first half?
Their performance or our performance? We have to play better. We can't start off. You give up a kick return like that for a touchdown to start the game and just spot them. Well, it was 13 points right away off the start. You can't do that. And then we started playing a little bit later on. But hopefully we can take that in the locker room and come back out and play a better second half.
Your offense isn't out of it. Those connections just barely being missed. How do you guys kind of make that execution work here in the second as well?
We got to give the quarterback a little more time. And if he gets a little more time, I think he's going to find some open people. There are some open people out there, but we're not giving him the time he needs.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thanks.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Allie. Thanks to Mike Horton for a moment of his time. We'll hear from Jeff Ferguson later before they come out for the start of the third quarter. It's homecoming here at Totino Grace. Right now the Eagles leading 21-7. We'll take time out. We'll come back with more. You're watching high school football on a Friday night in October on 12 Sports.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would now direct your attention to the track.
21-7, Totino Grace is leading Champlin Park at halftime. The dance team is across the field, but right now down on the track on the near side, they're going to introduce the homecoming royalty here for Totino Grace. Ryan, were you a homecoming king at Eden Prairie?
I was not. I was the runner-up. I got beat by the band guy, and I was all for it. He was a great kid, so I had no problem whatsoever. Homecoming's such a fun time, and I think you know during it you're nervous. You want to be the homecoming king, but looking back on it, it's just so much fun to be with all your friends. And plus, you know, we had a big game on our homecoming. It wasn't a cupcake, and so you kind of wanted to get out there. I actually had my stepdad and my mother walk at halftime, you know, so I could be in the locker room. I was focused, John. I'll tell you what, that looks cozy. That's what we got to get right there. That should be the Channel 12 viewing couch.
Right. A nice couch. You need a blanket, though, to keep warm on a night like this. This year's homecoming king and queen, the queen Natalie Boucher, and Pierce Paschal is the homecoming king.
Attended Jackson Middle School before coming to Totino.
And so congratulations to
Lindsay is a member of the Totino Grace volleyball.
homecoming king and queen for 2016.
And they're both members of the bowling team, so bowling is the thing to do now, I think.
Yeah, Natalie involved in bowling, and Pierce of the bowling and tennis teams. Script tells us, so congratulations to them.
Homecoming queen and king are Natalie Boucher and Pierce Paschal. Natalie came to Totino Grace from St. Rose of Lima. Natalie is involved in the bowling team at TG. Pierce came to Totino Grace from St. Vincent de Paul. He is a member of our Totino Grace bowling and tennis teams. Congratulations to all of our 2016 Totino Grace homecoming royalty.
All right, there's your royalty for 2016. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more halftime here at Totino Grace. Eagles leading the Rebels in football 21-7, and we're back with more Jim Totino Field in a moment.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands? My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
Totino Grace leading Champlin Park 21-7. Some of the Hall of Fame members of the inaugural class of the Athletic Hall of Fame being introduced down on the field at a ceremony last Sunday. We'll talk more about that during the second half. But let's look at some first half highlights. And Ryan Iverson starts on the opening kickoff. Gay for Flomo taking it at 6. And 94 yards later, the Eagles have their first score of the night.
Look at that speed, too. He just got right when he catches. I love kick returners. They get it and they go right into full speed. And he's got a big opening as well.
And then on their first offensive drive, it's Brady Bertram going 18 yards for a touchdown. We were only 2:16 into the game and it was already 13-0. But Champlin Park getting back into the game with the throwing of Benedetto to Marcus Hill. A lot of throws downfield as well to Cameron Witt. And a touchdown run by Ernest Warlow, and then the interception, a big one,
really a big,
by Charlie Waters, intercepting Benedetto in the red zone, setting up a Grace touchdown by Gayflor Flomo, his second TD of the game, to make our score 21-7. Flomo getting the 2-point conversion there. Get our final points of the half. If we look at the numbers, and as expected, a lot of rushing yards for Totino Grace, a lot of passing yards for Champlin Park, and the total yards and everything else about even so far in this game.
Well, I looked at, at turnovers, and even though points off of turnovers is pretty similar there, that screen, that dump down that got intercepted, Totino had, I thought that was huge because Champlin had all the momentum. They were driving and really could have gone in to tie it. Instead, Totino gets that big return off of that, scores to go up by 2 scores. So, really impressed with Champlin Parks, their passing ability. And like their coach said, they got to just give their young quarterback a little bit more time. They got great receivers, and he's got a great arm, too. So, they're going to start with the opening. They're going to receive the kickoff. They need to go down right away and score, get this a 1-score game.
Let's look at some of the other scores going around in the West Metro District right now. Hopkins and Wayzata tied up at 7. Maple Grove up big at Minnetonka, 35-7 in favor of the Crimson. Eden Prairie winning at Prior Lake tonight. Anoka ahead of Blaine. Andover shutting out Coon Rapids. Nothing in yet on Shakopee Edina. And tomorrow, Osseo celebrating their homecoming this Saturday afternoon. Tilt against the Centennial Cougars. It's a 1 o'clock game at Osseo. They're making a whole day of it. They've got a breakfast in the morning, a parade at 10 a.m., and then the football game at 1 o'clock.
I got a great idea. If Channel 12 needs someone to cover the meal portion, the breakfast or the lunch, I am happy to volunteer to do that. Just let me know.
We'll take a break. We'll let you know. 21-7 Eagles lead the Rebels here. We're back with more high school football from Jim Totino Field after this.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date. with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
21-7, Totino Grace leading Champlin Park. Down to the field we go now. The Eagles Dance Club. Great performance by the Totino Grace dance team. Finish off our homecoming activities tonight at Jim Totino Field. It is a 21-7 game. Totino Grace leads Champlin Park. More football coming your way on a chilly Friday night. Stay tuned. More to come here from Jim Totino Field on 12 Sports.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Rebels coming back out on the field. Their team trailing Totino Grace 21-7. As the third quarter approaches tonight. Temperatures dip down to 42 degrees. Now the Eagles coming back out onto the field as well. Here's a look at the West Metro South District standings coming into play tonight. You can see the numbers. Eden Prairie on top, Minnetonka and Prior Lake, Maple Grove up big, as you saw earlier, on Minnetonka at halftime. Those are the top four teams in that section. Hopkins playing host to Wayzata tonight, and then Edina, Wayzata, and Shakopee.
Which is a tougher district, do you think? We've seen two of them. You almost got to go the West Metro, but top to bottom, the one we looked at earlier is pretty good.
Right. A few more minutes on the clock for warm-ups for these teams to get settled in here for the second half of play. And Champlin Park will get the ball to start the second half, trailing by a couple of touchdowns here against Totino Grace. Look at the remaining games for each of these teams. Champlin Park, the Battle for the Paddle, the annual game against Anoka, coming up next Friday night. And then they'll finish up the regular season against Andover in Totino Grace with its remaining games. You saw at Centennial, and then finishing up against Coon Rapids here on Wednesday of the final week of the regular season.
Well, this game is going to be about adjustments, right? What adjustments is Champlin going to make? How are they going to protect their quarterback? Give him a little extra time. What routes are they going to change? Is Coach Ferguson going to, bring pressure different ways? Expect a couple of tricks that way too. And which coach can make the most adjustments? Which players can make plays, take care of the ball?
Let's go down to Allie Arrow now. Bye with Jeff Ferguson.
Hey, thanks, John. Coach, 2 fumbles in the red zone in the first half. What happened there?
It's frustrating. You know, I mean, sometimes we're our own worst enemy, and we can't, these guys are too good to do that too. Our offense will keep grinding. You know, we have faith in them. Our kids have made a few mistakes. Got to learn from them and keep plugging.
What would you like to see differently in this second half that you weren't seeing out of your team in the first?
Finish drives, finish tackles, finish pressures, finish coverage, finish runs, finish blocks.
Finish the game with a win.
We'd like to finish the game.
All right, Coach, you do that in a second.
Thanks.
All right, back to you guys.
I'm sure that was the key word of the players into the locker room as well, was finish. Ivan Verlack, who we saw play in the first half and had 68 yards rushing on 8 carries, he was hurt late in that second quarter, and he is not even dressed except for his jersey.
He will finish the game on the sidelines.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a shoulder injury there, and always frustrating, but you know, obviously maybe in a game that you're probably going to win up 2 scores at halftime.
Bottom left of your screen.
Getting some consolances, knowing that's not a fun thing, not being out there with your teammates. But you love Fergie. We got to finish. We got to finish drives, finish plays, finish series. And there you can see the frustration. There's nothing worse than, especially a shoulder injury. It's different if it's your ankles, your feet, you can't walk. But your shoulder, you feel good still. But you got to protect it. You got to think long haul. This is going to be, for Totino, expecting a long, deep run into the playoffs. They got to get him right. He's a big part of that offense.
They're like 8 carries, 68 yards in the first half, and so it'll be more Gayflor Flomo and Brady Bertram. Maybe some of we saw Sam Hansen with 1 carry for 14 yards in the first half, but he'll get some touches too.
You know what's crazy too is Burlack is not a big kid. He's only 5'10", 181 pounds, but man, does he run stronger than that, bigger than that. He's got good speed. So you're right. Who's going to pick up? Who's going to get those extra carries? You know, we talked about that 3-headed backfield. Not, all seniors not really knowing who's going to get the ball. Well, obviously one man's down, next man up mentality.
Totino Grace will kick off to start the second half. And Jack Vettel on the kickoff. Marcus Hill and Deontay Bronson, a couple of seniors, again, will be the deep men for Champlin Park. Vettel's kick will be taken by Hill at the 9, dropped it, picks it back up at the 11, and tripped up nicely and dropped at the 21-yard line.
Owen Nielsen did a nice job coming off the edge that time and getting a hold of Hill before he got his speed going. It looked like there might have been a hole, but nice job by the kickoff coverage again by Totino.
So for Champlin Park, they've got no turnovers, got to have in the second half. It's got to be a key for them. What do they need to do better? You heard Mike Corton say, we got to protect our quarterback a little better.
And obviously you always got to protect your quarterback. I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive on first down. I'd like to see him try to get bigger yards, put your quarterback in 3rd and short rather than constantly 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12 like we saw a lot in the first half.
Ernest Warlow, a tough first down run, breaking a couple of tackles and gets out to the 25-yard line. A 4-yard gain for him on first down.
Another thing I thought that was effective that we didn't see a whole lot of is getting Warlow the ball out of the backfield, right? Off of those swing passes. He was effective. He's got great speed too, and the defense is so keyed in on those wide receivers for Champlin. I think they almost can overlook Warlow. Get him on some of those flare passes. Let him catch the ball in space too.
2nd down and 6. Otto's going to keep the ball. Yeah, get a couple of yards out to the 27-yard line. He's rushed the ball 5 times tonight for 23 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down. And about 4 to go for Champlin Park.
those options, when people run options, John, it always scares me, especially when you're on the road, cold weather. It's all about timing and pitch, too. And I'm glad he kept that one. Or sometimes you just feel like they're a fumble waiting to happen.
So on third down, the throw a little bit short, intended for Christian Schmidt. And it'll be fourth down, and the Rebels will have to punt on the opening series of the first half, second half.
And a pretty easy throw. That's a throw we saw Otto make pretty consistently in the first half. That time just didn't quite get enough on it. And again, just from watching, you never know if that's quarterback short throws. Did the receiver go too far? Was the timing just off? But either way, you had, 2 nice plays on first and second down. You set up a third manageable, and you don't convert. You're getting the ball back to Totino's offense.
Otto standing back at the 10-yard line to put this one away. Short kick, and it'll bounce out of bounds at the 48-yard line of Totino Gray. So good field position for the Eagles on their first drive of the second half.
So here's something that I don't get. The first down was where? Right about the 38-yard line on that? 36-yard line? And you end up, by the time you punt, you're basically given 18, 20 yards of field position. Why not go for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, awfully deep in your own territory to go for it.
But I'm saying what you end up netting is only 15 yards anyway. So it's like you might as well, if it's 3rd and 4 like that, I'd like to see more teams, unless you have a great punter, it's worth going for it.
Flomo on the first carry of the second half, and he goes down. We get a flag comes in. I don't know if there's a face mask there or what they're going to call here, but probably something on that tackle.
He tackled him up by the head and threw him down, and they're going to call that. I think that's tough. When a running back on a second effort is low like that, you get him down any way you can, but they're going to say he grabbed his face mask.
So a 1-yard gain turns into a 16-yard play. Right now they're going to call a 5-yard face mask here. So just to the 44-yard line. Flomo coming in motion. Halverson looking to throw. Going to go deep, and a pass to Russell. And it's a touchdown for Totino Grace. Russell, who does play some on offense, comes up with a reception of 44 yards from Kyle Halverson, and Grace makes it 27-7.
Well, Russell's had 5 catches, 55 yards. That time, another great ball by Halverson. And remember, John, the last play of the first half, he threw deep and looked really well doing it. That time, just again, right over the top. You respect the run so much that you're coming to support that. Here they come right over the top. Joe Russell, who's had a very nice game on defense as well, gets loose for a 44-yard touchdown pass.
Reynolds extra point up and right down the middle, and it's 28-7 early here in the third quarter.
I'll tell you what, I'm really, really impressed with Halverson's arm strength. Watch this throw. Gets everything in, and he throws at a good 35, 40 yards in the air, right on the numbers. And Russell, again, that's not an easy catch. You're running all by yourself. We saw it at the end of the first half. That time, those lights right there, does a nice job watching it all the way through into his hands. And again, those safeties so used to coming up to try to help with run support. When you get a little bit of play action, you take that 1 or 2 steps forward, and they can blow the top off right over the top. Beautiful throw, beautiful play call. Nice catch by Joe Russell.
I think that's what potentially long-term is going to make Totino Grace tough offensively, that they can throw the ball. You can see the strength. Halverson had a great throw there, the big throw at the end of the first half. It was dropped, but he can throw the football.
Well, you think about it, John, and I talk about this a lot in basketball as well, but balance, the word balance, in football, if you can run the ball and throw the ball, if you have a good offense and a good defense, so many times you see one-dimensional teams. Hey, we're a great throwing team, but we're not physical. We can't run. Well, you know what? Other teams are trying to take away your strengths. And if you don't have a weakness, or at least a perceived weakness, and you're able to kind of counter whatever is given to you, then you become really hard to stop. And Totino, I like to your point, I think they do it better than anybody, especially this year.
Hill from the 5 out past the 25 to the 27-yard line.
So here's the difference, Eden Prairie versus Totino, right? I think this year, if you watch, the quarterback play at Totino is superior to Eden Prairie, right? Eden Prairie likes to pound the ball, run the ball, but Totino can take that away, just like Eden Prairie could take away the running game. But if you got a quarterback that can make those kind of plays, now you have a defense that's in limbo. We can't play the run too tight, or we're going to get a big play over the top. Now, guess what? The next drive, I will bet you anything, John, Totino comes out and pounds the football.
Benedetto will try to get this Rebels offense back on track here on their second drive of the second half. The ball dropped on the throw to Witt. Witt to first half, Ryan, 7 catches for 113 yards.
That's like video game numbers. I mean, that's an amazing season for a lot of people, much less a full game, much less in the first half. So he had a great first half. That time in those quick throws, it's real easy. You feel the footsteps coming. You kind of just lift your head for a second to see where that defense is, and you forget the first step is always just watching that ball through into your hands.
On second down and 10. Otto's throw tipped and then caught by Hill. Tipped initially by Mark O'Donnell, then Marcus Hill is behind him to make the grab.
Well, it's just how they drew it up in practice, right? Right off the defensive back's hands. Nice concentration by Hill to keep his eyes focused on that, and just really a fortunate bounce for Champlin, and a nice catch, and again it sets up that third and manageable.
Gain of 5, third catch for Hill tonight. Ball at the 33-yard line. Big rush up the middle, and Otto able to get the ball away. Completes it to Warlow. He's got a first down at the 40. Into Grace territory, and down to the Totino 40.
That looked like a disaster right from the snap there. You could see the pressure coming. Totino timed it perfectly. And a nice job by Otto just buying that last step, which allowed his running back, Warlow, to turn around on the screen, and it was executed perfectly. That was a great play call and executed to perfection. Nice job by Otto, just sidestepping, allowing that extra second or so to get his running back in space.
Gain of 27. Pass high for Witt, tipped and almost intercepted on the backside by Nielsen. The opposite of the tip play a couple of plays ago, almost worked the other way that time for Totino Grace.
You know, it's a quick throw, John, but he's throwing the whole length of the field. That's a good 20, 25-yard throw. So not as easy as it looks, but definitely a throw that
The guards moved, and it's a 5-yard penalty against Champlin Park. We had a lot of penalties tonight. It was the 4th against Totino, or against Champlin, 2 against Totino. And it'll be second down and 15. Back at the 45-yard line of Totino Grace. Champlin Park trailing by 3 scores here early in the third quarter.
And they need something positive to happen there, especially offensive.
Will now come out of the backfield, and on second and 15, Otto keeping, and Grace not fooled by that. He's dropped for a loss back at the 46-yard line. Loss of 1. Sean Prisbilla, senior linebacker, on the tackle for loss.
Well, good defenses have memories, right? As soon as they motioned Warlow out of the backfield, I thought quarterback draw. They ran it in the first half, and sure enough, that's exactly what they did. Totino brought their linebackers right up the middle through the A-gap, just nowhere for Otto to go. I think this is where you maybe give Marcus Hill a chance to make a play. You throw it up and hope that your athlete goes up and just makes a great play. It gets you a big first down.
Roll out on the run. Otto floating it down the left sideline, trying to get it into the hands of Witt, and incomplete. They're looking for a pass interference on O'Donnell there. And he made the breakup, and no penalty flag, and it'll be third down.
Again, it's a tough throw. You're asking a right-handed quarterback to sprint out to his left, and that's just excellent pass coverage right there. This isn't the NFL where you're going to get anything like that, it's got to be pretty blatant. I thought that was really well covered. You know, and I thought too, maybe on the short field, maybe you don't go for a home run there. Maybe try to get 10 yards and set up a 4th down and manageable better. 4th and 15, definitely the right decision here to punt. Do keep in mind that Otto, the quarterback, is the punter as well.
His 4th punt of the night. High kick. This will bounce at the 15-yard line, and Rebels will down it at the Totino Grace 12. A kick of 34 yards with no return. So a good outcome for the Rebels. And Totino Grace will start inside its 15 on this drive here in the 3rd quarter, leading 28-7. They already have the touchdown up on the board here in the 3rd quarter. That 44-yard pass from Halverson to Russell.
And you got to think, John, with Champlin's big playability through the air, is you're telling your defense, hey, you got a short field here. Let's hold them. 3 and out. Let's get a turnover. Let's get the ball back. Give our offense a chance to make a big play.
Here's Gaethor Flomo with a tough run of 8 yards out to the 20-yard line.
You can see him hanging onto that football, too, with both arms.
And a moose on the stop for the Rebels.
2nd down and 2. Ball's going to go. No, it's going to be kept by Halverson. There's a flag down in the backfield. I'm going to take a broken play from the start. Yep. And an offensive holding on Totino Grace.
Yeah, I think they got Aaron Carter. I couldn't tell, was that number 70? Yeah, it was a broken play. It ended up being a really nice, a pretty nice ball fake by Halverson. You could see his speed, but he was aided by a hold there in the backfield. And that's a big penalty. You go from 2nd and 2 to 2nd and 12, 2nd and 14. Those are the kind of penalties that Coach Ferguson absolutely detests. You had a broken play, so someone wasn't on the same page that way, and then also you add in a penalty.
Grace backed up now to its 10-yard line. A throw out of the backfield, and it's a 1st down pass out past the 30 to the 34 to Russell.
I'll tell you what I think made that play was the touchdown earlier. There was a huge cushion, 31, Nat Hill. And that pass was 15 yards downfield, and Nat Hill was still giving him an extra 7 or 8 yards cushion. So, you know, you take one over the top, your defensive backs all of a sudden get a little bit more cautious. They play off you a little bit more. And again, it comes down to you take what the defense is giving you that time. A nice, easy throw and a nice big 1st down, Joe Russell.
Give us to Flomo, and not much going this time.
Tell you what you like about him, he reminds you of a young Adrian Peterson kind of, doesn't he? Looks like he wants contact. He's looking for guys to run into and just like, hey, come get me. I'm going to deliver the hit to you, not vice versa.
Second down and 9 to go. 1-yard gain for Flomo. Halverson setting the throw to his right and incomplete. Intended receiver Flomo will be 3rd down and long.
And again, such a tough play to defend. Flomo was open. That ball just a little bit overthrown to his outside. But you come with the play action, the play they've ran probably 25 times tonight. Again, linebackers, everyone comes up to fill with run support, and you throw it right over the top. That time, Halverson just a few feet outside. But a nice play call. You can see why they're so tough to defend. You watch for that little quick reverse that they do, that counter that they run. So they're going to keep it in the air.
Halverson will throw back to his left, get the completion. Rocky Cruiser couldn't quite break that last tackle. It might have sprung him. He does get to the 2-yard lines, but it'll be short of the first down, Ryan, by 2 yards.
I first walked onto the field tonight, John. The first player I saw was big number 9, Rocky Cruiser, and I thought, my Lord, it looks like he's on stilts. He's 6'8" as a tight end, so a nice big target for Halverson, and you can see pretty shifty for as long as he is, and here Totino keeping their offense on the field.
On 4th down and 2, Halverson, the keep it, hit in the backfield and dropped. The tackle for loss on the play.
White that came up, I think, on an inside linebacker blitz. Watch White, number 34, right there. And a nice job. Kind of set up by a bad snap, too. That play just looked a little bit slow developing. Halverson never really got his motor moving him forward. So what I tell you, John, this defense needed to make a big stand here. And not only did they stop him, but they got good field position for their offense. Offense needs to come out here and make a play and get 6 points on the board.
They've had a couple of good plays on defense, individual plays. Overall, great. Obviously, has moved the ball well, but they've had a couple of turnovers on downs. The Rebels defense has held a couple of fumble recoveries in their own red zone, and now they got to turn it into points is the big thing. Otto on the little option pitch to Warlow. It's taking a long time to develop and never does.
I don't like that play call here. It's a long play, so what that's doing is, and you can see Totino strings it out, John, but it's allowing these linebackers and defensive backs, look at all of them come to the line. There's just nowhere to go, and you can see it. That's tough asking your young quarterback running it to his left. You don't want to turn it over. I don't like that play call. So here you are again, 2nd and 14, putting your quarterback in a really hard spot, tough down and distance.
Russell and Nielsen on the tackle. Now 2nd down and long. Otto throwing right, and man had a man open and missed on the pass to Schmidt.
Well, and he didn't have time because number 45-8 was coming in on a blitz and had to get rid of it. Almost threw that blindly. Excuse me, Ryan Cush did that. Came in on that. My fault. There's a good look at Cush. Nice job getting pressure, and we heard, Coach Corton say we got to give him time. We got to give our quarterback more time, and so far, he has not had a lot of time here in the second half, and that's a throw he can make in his sleep, but it's a little bit harder when you got a guy right in your face about to drill you.
3rd and 13. 3 receivers to the right here for the Rebels. Benedetto back to throw, another big rush. He'll throw it up for grabs and almost intercepted. Bennett came back and had to play defender there against Russell, who was trying to pick it off, but a huge rush up the middle. Here comes Charlie Waters, and Otto's had to toss it, trying to get it towards Witt, but this was a dangerous pass.
Dangerous throw, and again, it comes down to protecting your quarterback, and I thought Totino would dial up some different pressures here in the second half, and that's exactly what they did. They're timing it different, they're hitting different gaps, and that offensive line struggling right now to give their quarterback any time.
So Otto will punt it away. Kick taken at the 11-yard line. And down to the 15 on the return goes Moynihan. Flag comes in late. I can't imagine it was for that tackle by Spencer.
No, it was a good 15 seconds after that play ended. Someone must have said something. Or
yeah, unsportsmanlike against the Eagles.
I'll tell you, John, when I played, I could have the game of my life, but if I did something like that, taunting or unsportsmanlike, my mom would be waiting for me the minute I got home, and she'd always let me know it's not about how good you are as a player. Yeah, that's great. You scored a touchdown, but you do things the right way, and that's just so rare for Totino to have that kind of a penalty. They're usually so well coached and disciplined. And
the Eagles will start this series 1st down and 10 back at their 8-yard line. And they'll give to Hansen. Sam Hansen trying to get the edge in the corner. Gets out to the 16-yard line. Tackled down there by Nat Hill. A good first down run, and Hansen, just his second carry of the night, he picks up 8.
Yeah, and there's that kind of that counter, that reverse misdirection counter play, and it really just comes down to discipline. As that left side of the defense, you got to stay home, and it's such a natural instinct to follow the pursuit, see which way everything's going, but here comes the ball carrier coming back the other way.
Second down and short. Inside give. And it's Flomo that's going to get the first down for the Eagles.
First down for the Eagles.
Gain of 3 out to the 19. Totino Grace at this point, Ryan. You got to protect the football. Keep that clock running.
You got a nice lead. You got to feel pretty confident with where your defense has been playing, especially in the second half, going against that Champlin offense. I think you keep it simple and maybe try to lull Champlin into coming up and trying to stop the run. Maybe you hit him one more time with a deep pass. Otherwise, you got a couple running backs that know how to finish a game off.
Flomo, not a lot of room for him to run, and he gains maybe a yard or two. I did on the stop along with Ned Hill. Under 3:15 to go here in the third quarter. Second down and 7 for the Eagles offense. Halverson a give. Hansen the carrier. He stood up and driven back. Kofi Amosu on the tackle.
So I want you to watch this, John. Watch the guard. If you watch Totino Grace, their guards always lead you to the football. You can see that time the left guard pulled. And it's fun to watch, because if you watch guards, especially in high school football, especially in this wing T offense, 99% of the time, if you follow the guards, they will lead you to the football. Guard down blocks, it's usually a play coming right up the middle. Otherwise, you watch the guards pull, and then they will lead you to the football a lot of times. There's a pass play.
3rd and 5. Russell's got the catch, still on his feet to the 45 to the 49-yard line. Pickup of 24.
And again, there's that deep coverage, respecting over the top, an easy throw for Halverson. You can see he's got some nice arm strength. He gets some zip on that ball. And I just love how Totino finishes these plays off. Their guys just do not want to go down. Watch him fight for that extra 3-4 yards here. And that gets the crowd and the sideline fired up.
First and 10 from the 49 for the Eagles. With 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. The give is to Bertram into Champlin Park territory, and then driven back. And after a gain of 2. Right on the stop. Along with White.
And they run that trap. I mean, a lot of times they'll get a big gain or a big play out of it, but they almost run that trap just to remind you that it's always there, that you always have to stay home, and it kind of occupies those defensive tackles and maybe just for a second those middle linebackers, and then it frees them for those sweeps and counters to be a little bit more effective.
Second down and 8. Halverson's going to go to the deep route again, right side, gets the completion. Kaharski with the catch down at the 15-yard line. Gain of 34. First catch tonight for Nick Kaharski.
Oh, nice job. I want you to watch 31, Nat Hill on defense. He's in the right spot. I think he just mistimed where that ball was. If he would have taken one more step back and jumped, he would have had an interception. It was almost like he waited for it and then realized the ball was a little bit over his head. But again, a nice strong throw and good catch, good concentration. And another big play in the passing game. So we've seen Totino kind of get away a little bit from their bread and butter of pounding the rock here and making some big plays in the passing game.
First down, it's Flomo following his blockers into the end zone. His third touchdown tonight. And it's 34-7 Eagles.
And that's when he's so dangerous, the push of that offensive line. You can see he was able to get his momentum and speed going. And if there's contact and he's got his full head of steam going, you ain't stopping him. Watch him finish this run off. Again, no contact right till there. Look at him finish that defender off. Beautiful run, nice offense, good mix, good balance of pass and run on that drive. And the Champs are up by quite a bit now.
Vettel's extra point. He is 4 for 5, or 3 for 4 rather, on extra points tonight. Makes it a 35-7 game.
I think you give a lot of credit to that offensive line right there. And again, you could see number 64, Tyler Santos, the guard. Watch him pull and get a big block right there down the line. He takes 2 people out, opens up a big hole. Flomo should take him out for a pizza after the game. Say thank you for all my touchdowns, offensive line. Funny how that works. The running back runs, doesn't get touched, gets all the headlines and all the stats, where that offensive line has to hit the weight room tomorrow morning, squatting and doing all the hard grinding work. And that's what makes football such a beautiful sport. It's such a balance, and it takes such ultimate teamwork. One guy not doing his job can cause the rest of the team a bad play. And it's beautiful to watch when you work together like that. Great blocking, great running.
Vettel with another kickoff. It'll be handled again by Hill outside his 10-yard line. Excuse me, this time it's Bronson. And he gets out past the 25 and 27. Kick coverage has been pretty good for Totino Grace. They're pinning him inside the 20, but inside the 30 pretty much every time. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the difference is we saw Flomo when he took that opening kickoff to the house. You see how fast he got going? I think that's a really big thing. A lot of these kick returners are so fast, but they hesitate, almost like they know contact's coming, so they don't go full speed. I always found it really hard to tackle a guy running as fast as he possibly can. And you hit that hole, the seam is going to be there, but it's not going to be there for long. You got to hit it hard, or it's going to close down in a hurry. Rebels offense back to work. First down and 10. Otto flushed out left and finally just steps out of bounds.
Otto runs out of bounds.
They run that rollout to the left, the short side of the field. There's just not a lot of space for Otto's receivers to work. And again, that sideline is kind of an extra defender for Totino, and there's just nowhere to go. You got the whole field to your right. You know, again, I just a little bit questionable on some of these first down calls. Second down and 12. Otto handoff, Warlow. Nice little step outside and then cuts back to the middle. Warlow to the 45 to the midfield stripe and into Gray's territory down to the 48-yard line. And a pickup of 24 yards. Ernest Warlow's longest run of the night. Well, great play call there. Nice draw play and a sure passing down. And watch this cut back right there at the end here. Watch him cut back to his left. Beautiful job. And he's got some great speed. He's a nice looking running back. First and 10 from the 48 of Totino Grace. Otto steps in to his throw, gets a completion, only a pickup of 3 yards. Witt on the reception. Ryan Cush on the tackle. That's Witt's first catch here in the second half, though. But again, just not a lot of time for Otto. He had to get rid of it pretty quick there. Not a lot of time for those receivers to get down the field like we saw in the first half. Otto able to buy extra time. His receivers were getting more open. He's got to throw quick, and really in the second half, been excellent coverage down the field by Totino Grace. That is the end of the third quarter. Our score, Totino Grace, 35. Champlin Park, 7. We're back with the fourth quarter after this on 12 Sports.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Mike Corton and the Rebels trailing big here as we start the fourth quarter. Bennett Otto in some trouble again, just throws it away. It'll be third down for the Rebels, and still 7-8 yards to go here for Champlin Park. Ball at the 45 of Totino Grace.
Well, and I think right now Totino doing a nice job. They're just rushing with 4 linemen and dropping more people back in coverage, knowing that it's probably a passing situation. And those people up front, they're winning that battle. This offensive line's got to stay low, got to give him some time. Allow those playmakers to get down the field and see if they can get a big play in the passing game.
Big rush again. Otto gets it away, though, throwing for Hill, and he's got the catch. What a couple of nice catches Hill has made in traffic tonight. This one gets his team down to the 15-yard line of Totino Grace.
Well, that's a tough throw. Look at this pressure right up the gut. He throws it up, and Hill just makes a great play. That's great coverage, too, down the field by Nolan Nielsen. But watch Marcus Hill just go and get this ball. I mean, that's a tough play. Great throw, great catch, great everything by everyone on that play.
First and 10, Rebels from the 15 of Totino Grace. Otto will hand Warlow up the middle for only a couple of yards, though, before he's tripped up. Jared Florell on the tackle for Totino Grace.
Well, what Mike Corton is trying to do is how do you negate a pass rush like that, right? It looks like it's another drop back and sprint out, and it's a quick drop play. So they try to get the over pursuit of the linemen and the blitzing linebackers, and that time Totino just got enough of his foot, Warlow's foot there, to trip him up. Otherwise, that could have been a big play.
2nd and 8 from the 13. Otto will throw to Warlow out of the backfield, who slips as he got down to, maybe he only got a yard on that. Bring up third down, and still fairly long to go here for the Rebels, 7 yards.
Yeah, only a 1-yard gain, but that was a heck of a catch by Warlow. That ball was low and in front of him, and knowing you got defense coming up to hit you, nice job just to hang on to it.
And where they marked him, they didn't give him any yards, so it's still 3rd down and 8. Otto, quick throw to Hill, diving for the end zone, touchdown, Champlin Park.
Touchdown, Champlin Park.
Hill with his 5th catch tonight, his 6th touchdown catch of the season. The Rebels have another score.
That was a great play call. We haven't seen that all night. They put number 88, Cameron Witt, who is Otto's favorite target, in motion all the way across to the left. The safety, the corner, everyone went over to that side. They get Marcus Hill on the weak side going for a quick slant. Beautiful play call, great execution, great throw, and a nice job by Witt reaching over, by Hill getting the touchdown.
Joey folds at the extra point, and it's 35-14 here in the fourth quarter.
You can see a nice job. Yeah, you can see that ball was across the line. As soon as that ball crosses the plane, that's a touchdown. Yeah, excellent play. Nice stretch. Go look at that extension by Marcus Hill. What a great play, though. It allowed Marcus Hill one-on-one coverage, and it's a quick throw, so you're not worried about blitzing or pressure. I'd like to see more of that type of action, those quick slants. Get these guys that are playmakers a chance. You can see full extension, and now in the NFL, they might have said his knee was down a little bit early, where that ball, but you know what? Heck of an effort. Give him the touchdown, and you're just kind of in that zone, John, with 10 minutes left, 3 scores. We can see how quick Champlin can score.
Right.
We've seen him come back. They had a great comeback last week in their victory, scoring in the last minute to beat Osseo 36-35. So you just never know. You're never out of it. That's what makes this game so great. Do you go for an onside kick here? Do you try to keep the momentum going? You know how so many strategies that you can play, and that's what makes this fun. You're never out of it, especially when you can throw the ball like Champlin can.
Certainly wouldn't rule it out. Grace has 5 players up about 11 yards away from the ball here, including Russell and Nielsen, a couple of their hands guys up on the near side to our right. Whistle. And Totino Gracing's going to take time out.
No, I think they gave it to Champlin. I think it was Champlin that called it. The referee pointed that way.
Oh yeah, they had. I think they were a man short of personnel.
You know, you normally think, oh, not a big deal, but when you're down 3 scores and time in fourth quarter, you need those timeouts to stop the clock. That's a timeout you just can't afford to waste. So if you only got 10 guys, it makes you think maybe they had something up their sleeve, something wasn't quite lined up right. You know, and those are just the little things, little tiny details that really can have a big impact on a game.
So now, if you were thinking onside kick, do you change that, or are you still going to go for it regardless? You need 3 scores. There's only so many possessions you're going to get.
I don't. I think I kick it and I try to pooch it to that 20. You know, make Totino start at the 25, 30-yard line. You know, your defense has played well at stretches tonight. Can you get a quick stop? Get that offense. They got a good rhythm going. Get them back out there as soon as possible. If you go onside kick, you don't get it. Then you've given Totino a really short field, and I don't know if you can risk that quite yet with 10 minutes left in the game.
You on the kickoff here for Champlin Park. And he's going to go for the onside kick. Got across 10 yards. And a scramble for the football. Rebels think they have it. I don't see any of the Totino players believing they have it. Yeah,
they got it.
Champlin Park football.
I'll tell you what, John, that was kicked to perfection. And he kicked it wide, it rolled, and it's I know when you get that cold, hard grass, it slides for you. And I thought they missed their opportunity, Champlin did, right there to recover it. Ball took a crazy bounce. You can see White finally gets over it, but that was absolutely kicked perfectly to a spot where there was no Totino players.
Matthew Yarabo ends up with the football for Champlin Park. And so the Rebels get it 1st and 10 at the 47 of Totino Grace.
That was well executed. That is not an easy thing to do as a kicker. And he just kicked it perfect. It slid and bounced perfectly. A nice job. Big time move. That took guts to do that, especially after a timeout, but it paid off. Can their offense keep it going here and strike again to make this a really interesting game?
Granadato out of the shotgun as he's been all night, throwing to his right, underthrown and almost intercepted. Had Bronson open, but came up short on the throw and almost picked off by Moyna. Right through Moyna's hands.
Yeah, you know, Bronson's got to make a better effort. You know, you're down 3 scores. You need every play. That ball was still catchable. You got to help your quarterback out. You got to come back, fight for that ball. Try to make every effort possible to come down with that catch.
2nd and 10 from the 47. With pressure in the middle, or Otto rather, and down he goes. Back at the midfield.
There's just not time for Otto to allow these guys to run deep down the field. I think they got to get back to those quick slants, quick throws where it doesn't matter if Totino brings pressure or not. And again, you're in 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15 here. You don't need a home run. Get a 7 to 10 yard pass so you set up a chance to get a 4th down and manageable. Otherwise, you throw deep, you don't get it, you're in a 4th and long.
Right.
Quick throws here, John.
Excuse me, Ryan Cush on the sack on that play. 3rd down and 14. Otto again on the run. Throws it downfield, and it's intercepted by Russell. Steps in front of Witt and gets the pick back at the Totino 20.
Well, nice job by Otto avoiding pressure. That time he had Witt open, and that ball just a little bit underthrown. And, you know, Russell's had a huge game, a couple of big catches on offense, caught a touchdown. That time playing center field, just drops back, does a nice job holding on to it. and getting the ball back for Totino.
The Eagles will take it first down and 10 from their 20. Just over 9 minutes to go and still a 3-score lead. Handoff on first down is to Flomo. Breaks a tackle, fighting his way out past the 30. He'll be close to a first down.
You know, this is where Totino, the clock is your friend, right? You want to run that play clock down to 3-4 seconds every time. And if they can get 9 to 10 yards every carry, it's going to be a ball game here.
They got 10 yards there. Halverson up under center. Ball at the 30-yard line. Fakes the pitch. Halverson wanting to throw. Now they're going to step up, and down he goes. Tomazina, junior linebacker, comes in and gets the tackle for loss on Halverson.
Really nice job by the Rebel defense there, staying home, not going for that ball fake. And the safeties, defensive backs all stayed home. There was nowhere for Halverson to go with the ball. And even though that's a sack, that's an experienced play right there. Why throw an incompletion or a potential interception? He takes a sack. The clock continues to run. You live to fight another down. Great play defensively and a smart play by a senior quarterback.
On second down and 15, they go to Flomo. It's got a nice hole up the middle. Hangs onto the football. It breaks into the open. Bronson trying to fight to bring him down, and finally does, but not until he gets down to the 40 of Champlin Park.
Oh, they're going to call taunting. Oh, watch this run, John. He almost lost it right there, but watch him finish this off. And look at how, I mean, look at the effort. Look how many guys it takes to get down, and that right there, when you show the ball, a little taunting, like.
I think he's trying to claim that
he's
trying to give it to the referee,
yeah,
but I don't think the referee was buying it.
You see the crowd doesn't like that, but there was a little, that was a physical run and a physical finish to it, and it had the feel as if Flomo was trying to say first down, and it kind of pawned it off as, hey, I'm just giving it to the referee, but you know, that's the kind of thing man, that's a hard physical run. Like, it's okay to have a little emotion. I don't have any problem with that. That was a heck of a run, John. That might have been the best run.
47 yards.
Yeah. And just felt for the last 30 of it, it was contact, too. It wasn't a free rein. He hit that hole hard, and he carried about 2 or 3 defenders the last 20 yards. That was a big run.
After the penalty, it's first down and 10 from the 47. Now it's a big hole for Bertram. And he gets down to the 30-yard line.
In this Totino offense, this is what they do. They wear you down. 4 quarters, and there's that trap again. Again, no contact. I don't think there was a hand on him. And as a running back, you love that. You hit that hole, you get to that second level without having to absorb any hits at all. That's just a great offensive line. Nice rhythm, nice timing, too. Those are tough plays to execute.
Halverson will give. There's Bertram again. And Brady Bertram gets 6 to the 24-yard line. Tackled by Colton Eit. Bertram's only had half a dozen carries, but he's over 50 yards. Got a touchdown tonight. Got a 1 catch for 13 yards.
Well, and that's his role, right? He runs those trap plays, and again, it's like you forget about it. And every 5 to 6 plays, he reminds you, hey, I'm pretty dangerous too, and you can catch out of the backfield too. They just have great balance, both passing and running the ball, but their balance between their running backs is phenomenal.
Flying and false start on Totino Grace.
That was, Rocky Cruiser, and that's a tough one. When you're 6'8" and you move, it's noticeable to everyone else.
Now back to the 29. It'll be second down and 9 now for the Eagles. But now you look at the clock, and we're inside of 6.5 minutes. And Grace putting this one out of reach. The clock continues to run. Halverson up under center. Will hand off. This is Hansen. And gain back the penalty yardage. It'll be third down and 4.
I think you look forward, John, and maybe the biggest takeaway tonight is the health of Ivan Burlak, right? I mean, he's kind of their I wouldn't say he's their best running back, but he's certainly as important as anyone else is to the running attack. And obviously had a big first half and came out with what appeared to be some type of shoulder injury. There he is cheering his teammates on, but you hope it's nothing. Maybe it's just more precautionary. Hey, we felt like we had this game. We don't need you to get re-injured.
Pitch goes to Hansen, left side. He's got to get to the 20-yard line. Ball comes out at the end. He was down. He got to the 22 before the Rebels wrapped him up. It'll be 4th down and 2 to go from there.
I'll tell you what, there's some hitting going on out there. That looked like Hansen had a free rein to a first down, and Champlin closed that gap in a hurry, and there's still some hitting down there. I'm just amazed. I'm 36 now, John, so I'm 18 years removed from playing. How big and strong and fast and athletic these guys are nowadays. And those guys are all 200+ pounds and they're strong and great athletes. And there's some big-time hitting going on in Minnesota high school football.
4th and 2 for the Eagles from the 22. Halverson slipped as he threw, but gets the completion to Bertram, and he gets a first down. Tackled by Hill, but he only needed a couple of yards. He got 3.
Yep, play action, and this, again, I think this comes down to Kyle Halverson, right? You trust your quarterback. He's been doing it for a long time. We need 2 yards. We'll get you 3 yards. Great play action, accurate throw, and a nice job by Bertram holding on to it there. I don't think he saw the contact coming. There's the fireworks going on.
I don't think that's from here. Is it from that first down?
Maybe that's
somewhere off in the distance.
That's how Totino celebrates first downs. Fireworks.
Bertram, the ball carrier on first down, and he gets close to 10 yards before he's thrown down at the 10 by Joey Foltz.
I'm looking for more. I don't see him.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
It's kind of played out tonight like I thought it probably would, right? You thought Totino would be able to kind of do what they want offensively as far as rushing. Champlin had success early passing the ball, and I thought Totino's adjustments and the way they brought their pressure to the young quarterback for Champlin really been the difference in the game tonight.
On 2nd down and 1, here's Flomo's got a hole on the left side into the end zone, touchdown. Flomo's 3rd rushing touchdown, had the kick return for a TD. 4 scores for that young man tonight, and it's 41-14.
Matches jersey number 4 for number 4, and look at that. Look at him finish. Again, that ball came loose after he was about 3 yards deep into the end zone, but you saw the emotion. I think he was fired up. That was a couple of physical runs, and I'll tell you what, he finishes runs better than anyone I've seen. You can see the Totino homecoming fans, they're excited. They know they got a heck of a football team this year and appreciating it, battling the elements. Okay, it's not really the elements, but they're battling 40-degree weather, which is pretty cool. They're in blankets, cheering their team on. That's what high school football is all about.
I know we're nowhere near the coldest game we're going to have this year, Ryan. What was the coldest game you played on? Do you remember?
I do, and it was probably a Channel 12 game maybe. We played Cooper in this first round of the state tournament in Cooper, and it was 2 below out.
I remember that night.
And I'll tell you what, you had...
you took it to Cooper that night.
We did. You had a running back that they called Mr. Unstoppable. It was the nickname. We had it up in our locker room. Oh, there's Mr. Unstoppable right there. But I'll tell you what, John, you'd hit the ground and it felt like you were hitting frozen cement. Every knick-knack. It was not fun playing in that kind of weather. This is perfect weather. This is dream weather. I'll tell you,
we called him Mr. Unstoppable?
No, the Star Tribune did.
The Star Tribune did.
All right. And actually his teammates were calling him Mr. Unstoppable. So that week we had hung it up in our locker room.
I'm glad it wasn't us.
And I think I might have tackled him the first play, and I maybe had a comment or two about being unstoppable. I don't remember though.
Your mom wouldn't have liked that if she had known.
No, I covered my face mask with my mouth so she couldn't see that.
Jack Vettel just added the extra point. We'll kick off now. Jeff Ferguson told us before the game, he said, we had a good week of practice. You know, he's a little worried about tonight's game, but I think he gets worried before almost every game. Good return up the middle here. Bronson jumped over a would-be tackler, and Deontay Bronson is going to bring this back for a touchdown. How about that?
That's going to have no impact on whether they win or lose this game, but are you kidding me? What a play. What an athletic play. And I'll tell you the difference. I want you to watch this, John. He picks this ball up. Watch him take off. He gets his speed going right now. He starts going. And watch this play. Holy buckets. I hope someone sends that into Sports Center. Watch him clear the kicker right there and keeps his speed going. What an unbelievable play. Again, it's not going to matter the outcome of the game, but that was as exciting and as athletic of a play as we might see all year.
87-yard return by Deontay Bronson to make it 42-20, and now the extra point attempt. A little bit of a high snap, folds kick is up, and it is through. And it's 42-21 with 3:33 to go.
That was great. And now, you know, it shows how important that last drive was, right? Imagine if it was still 35-21, 2 scores, maybe another onside kick. You got a totally different ball game. I'll tell you, you got athletic players, man. You just got to get the ball in their hands one way or the other. Big time return for Bronson.
Well, we may still see another onside kick. Whether or not it's going to make a difference, it remains probably not. Here's the upcoming games. International Falls at Brooklyn Center next week. Brooklyn Center with their homecoming. They will host the Broncos next Friday. It's a 5 o'clock game live on Channel 12 and 12.tv. Brooklyn Center 2-3, trying to go 3-3 tonight. They're playing at St. Anthony, who came in without a win tonight.
How do you get International Falls to come down and play
that's
Brooklyn
a good question.
Center?
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to avoid the cold up there. They come in, they think this is tropical when they come down to the cities, maybe.
Brooklyn Center trailing tonight, though, so they may come in 2-4 in that game. But so the 5 o'clock start next Friday on Channel 12, and then we'll finish up with Blaine at Osseo on MEA Wednesday.
Yeah. That'll be an old smash mouth, tough, physical game, absolutely.
A little pooch kick this time, and it's handled by Nielsen flawlessly back at the 36-yard line. Totino will perhaps be able to run out the clock tonight with the rushing game and one final drive and close this one out.
I'll tell you, you talk about, Coach Ferguson saying we had a good week of practice, but we're a little nervous. I think when you play a team like Champlin, and who throws a lot, it's just different than most teams. We saw Eden Prairie against Hopkins, right? Hopkins runs that different kind of an offense. As a coach, you're scared of that because you can't really emulate it during their week of practice. You don't have guys that are used to doing that. And I thought Totino had a game plan tonight. They gave up quite a few yards early in the first half, but he had 2 running backs moving before the snap there.
Peyton Schuler is the new quarterback. Carter Jam got the carry, but we are going to get a penalty here against Totino Grace.
But I'll tell you, I like what Jeff did at halftime. He said, okay, we can't sit back, let him pick us apart. He's a young quarterback. We got to get pressure on him. Let's dial it up. Let's bring some linebackers. Let's change it up a little bit. And I don't think Champlin ever really adjusted. They never gave Otto enough time. You heard, obviously, their head coach talk, Mike Corton, at half, saying we got to protect Otto. We got to give him more time. And they just never were able to do that.
Second down.
On second down, after the penalty, this will be Zach Cossing, a junior, with his first carry tonight. Get a couple of yards out to the 39, and as a reserve, you also always like to get a chance to get some snaps in here in the fourth quarter,
and
offense or defense.
It sounds stupid, but you're also, as a coach, you're preparing for later in the year. You don't know if someone's going to get hurt, or you might be in a section playoff game or a state tournament game, and all of a sudden your number's called. Well, you can kind of resort back to a few of these reps you've gotten throughout the year, and it makes a difference, absolutely.
On second down, they'll give it to Cossing again. Slips in the backfield. The footing has been treacherous at times, where we've seen some backs and receivers slip a little bit out on this grass field tonight.
Well, we've obviously gotten a lot of rain the last few days. You can see the field torn up a little bit. And it gets a little slick at this time of night. So you got to keep your balance, keep your footing, absolutely.
Halverson, who the starting quarterback, is also the punter. We've seen him punt earlier in the game. Well, has not been as busy as Otto tonight. With the low snap, and gets this kick away. Low line driver, but takes a Totino Grace bounce, and he'll go down to the 24-yard line of Champlin Park, where the Rebels will get it back, presumably one final time here with 1 minute and 46 seconds to play.
It's pretty amazing. You think of Totino Grace, their enrollment just over 800 kids. So could actually probably compete in the 3A or 4A
I think they'd
level.
Be a 4A team, yeah.
And for them to choose to play up, knowing, I mean, hey, that's, you talk about having a great program. You're playing up 3 classes. You're playing against the biggest communities and the biggest schools in the state of Minnesota, and obviously having great success. 2 years ago, lost in the state championship. Last year, lost to the eventual state championship in Osseo. So I think if you were to poll any coaches around the metro area of a team they would not want to face, it would probably be Totino Grace.
A lot of turnovers tonight. Here's a montage of what we've had the ball on the floor a lot tonight in this game. Interceptions. This was a big one in the first half. A kickoff by Charlie Waters that set up Grace's 3rd touchdown of the half that made it 21-7. Otto pressured there, and the interception by Russell in the second half.
And that wasn't even all of them that we've had tonight. We had Totino with a couple of fumbles as well.
And there's a fumble on the snap out of the timeout. Champlin Park had taken a timeout there before the series started, but Otto got back on it.
Well, that was Chad Costello, who's the backup quarterback in. And
oh, excuse me, yeah, it is Costello, then. Senior who has had some varsity experience, played last year a lot, and some this year at quarterback.
That's always tough. You've been, especially when it's cold out, you've been sitting all game to come in and, you know, not getting those snaps with the center beforehand. That's not an easy predicament to be in.
Second down and 10, Costello. There'll be a handoff, and there'll be a loss in the play back. Only about a yard loss or so. First carry tonight for Champlin Park's Anthony Yeti. There's a flag down against Champlin Park. That's going to be refused.
Penalties declined.
And they'll wind the clock again with a minute to go.
Wouldn't that be funny if Fergie accepted that? You look at stats, right? You're trying to take 5 yards off of the total defense.
And another handoff up the middle, and the gain out past the 20-yard line. And they'll have time for another play on offense here, or maybe they'll punt the ball away. 30 seconds to go. I would guess they'll just keep this group out on the field.
Well, homecoming's always fun. Big dance usually after the football game. Kids always have a lot of fun. The faculty always, a lot of times, sticks together. So that's what you love about high school football. There's just the spirit, the pride that you're playing for. You're playing for all your friends. There's a good look at them sticking it out in the cold here, and got to see a heck of a performance by their undefeated #1 ranked team in the state of Minnesota, Totino Grace.
Grace wins it by a final count of 42-21. They go to 6-0, Ryan, on the season.
Yeah, pretty impressive. I walk away watching them, and no question the best team I've seen so far this year. I didn't think they had their A+ game tonight, but they beat a really good. I mean, this wasn't a walk in the park. This is the #6 rated team in Champlin Park. So I thought they came out and just really established their identity, their will, and adjusted through, right? Gave up 180-something yards passing the first half. Second half basically shut down that pass game and really took it to another level. So congratulations to Totino. And if you're Champlin Park, you're close. I don't think you're that far off. And you got to remember, too, you got a sophomore quarterback that's getting better and better every snap, every game.
42-21, our final. We'll take a break. Allie will come back and talk with a couple of the winning Eagles players as we continue with our coverage of high school football from Jim Totino Field after this timeout.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
42-21, Totino Grace defeating Champlin Park. Let's go down to Allie Arnold standing by with Joe Russell and Gay Flomo. Allie?
Thanks, guys. Down on the sidelines with Gayflor Flomo and Joe Russell, both with explosive games tonight. We're going to start with Gayflor. 4 touchdowns tonight, the magical number 4 right there, 1 in each quarter. But you kicked off the game with a kick return for 94 yards, taking it to the house. Talk about that play.
It was amazing. Like our kick return team just set up great blocks, and I just followed them all the way.
What is it about your style of play that makes you so effective at the goal line to be able to put up 4 touchdowns tonight?
Just trusting in my guys and just trusting in my guys and knowing that they're there for me.
You know, Champlin Park is not a bad team, but you guys were really able to stick it to them tonight, and offensively, you did that very well. Talk about your team's performance as a whole offensively.
I thought we came together tonight. Like the offensive line, I credit them a lot. Like they helped us out a lot. They opened up the holes, and I'm glad they did.
Well, great job tonight with those 4 touchdowns. We'll turn it over here to Joe Russell. Joe, you had a touchdown in the 3rd quarter of tonight's game, and that was a bomb pass from Halverson. Talk about that play.
Yeah, it was just great. Me and Kyle have grown up together, lived really close to each other, and it was just good to connect with a good friend.
Is this something that you guys anticipate to carry through the rest of the season for you to be able to make those long passes in critical situations?
Yeah, our running game, we really grind teams down, and then we're able to take a shot now and again and have pretty good success.
So not much longer after, you get a huge interception, and that was also a bombed pass as well. You got up, got that interception. What does it take for you on the defensive side of the ball to be so productive?
You know, it's just the team around me. We got really good chemistry with the D-backs, and we've been working together for a while, and it's just fun to play together.
What do you see for this team as you guys round out the second half of the season?
We're just going to keep working and do our best, and we got a long way to go.
All right, well, these two guys have a homecoming dance to get to. Coach said they're going to go dance, but they're going to do it appropriately. Back to you guys.
All right. I don't know about the dancing behind Allie there, if that was appropriate, but now all in good fun. And Totino Grace wins it tonight on homecoming night, a first cold night of the fall for football, and Totino Grace moves to 6-0 with the win. Champlin Park drops to 4-2. Thanks for tuning in for our coverage tonight on 12 Sports. For Ryan Iverson, Allie Arlt, and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson, thanking you for watching high school football on Channel 12.